go! Bit of Friday night footy, and we are rocking and rolling. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport, we are live as the North Queensland Cowboys are going to be hosting the St. George Illawarra Dragons up there in Townsville in a game that, look, you want me to be honest with you? Do you want me to sit here and give you my honest opinion about these two teams' likelihood chances of making the 8 this year? Or do you want me to sit here and do you want me to not be completely honest with you and feed your team's beliefs? It's really up to you. I'm not looking at your comments just yet, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion and say, look, ultimately, these two teams aren't going to be making the finals this year. However, look, the Dragons just simply need to win this game. It is a necessity if they even want to have a smidgen of hope and a smidgen of belief, because they are 6 points out of the 8 right now, but they're probably going to be 7 by the end of the... Well, maybe it depends on the Manly result. They're probably going to be 8 points out of the 8 by the end of the weekend if they lose this game, right? And there's only 6 rounds to go after this. So, look, again, mathematically speaking, even the Cowboys can technically make the 8 still, but ultimately, anyone, for me, from the Roosters actually downwards now after last night, but anyone, especially Dragons below, probably isn't going to be looking towards that top 8 right now. It's just about avoiding that spoon and just about kind of keeping a sense of something to go into 2026 with, right? That's kind of what a lot of the focal point will be for a lot of these teams around here. But let's get into today's game. Obviously, we do have the Brisbane Broncos taking on the Parramatta Eels later on today, which is a massive game there for the Broncos, actually. And also a massive game for the Eels, because it's they're trying to avoid the spoon. So that'll be a big game. But let's get into these two team lineups, and then we'll get into the chat and see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's go. So the Cowboys, they come into this game from 13th position, whilst the Dragons come to this game from 11th position, and this is at Queensland Country Bank Stadium up there in Townsville. The ins for the Cowboys, John Bateman and Thomas Duffy, with the outs being Murray Talangi and Thomas Michaeli. The fullback is Scott Drinkwater, with the wingers being Robert Derby and Braden Burns, centres of Jackson Purdue and Zach Labour. 5'8" is Thomas Duffy, with the halfback being Tom Dearden, who is the captain. You go to the props, which is Harrison Edwards and Griffin Neame, and the number 9 is Reece Robson. Back row is John Bateman and Jeremiah Nene, with the 13 being Ruben Cotter. The interchange is Carl Lawton, Caden Lars, Kai O'Donnell, and Cohen Hess, with the 18th man replacement being Jackson Bolo, and Todd Payton is the coach. Look, let's quickly go through how the Cowboys have gone so far over the last couple of weeks. They are a very inconsistent team. We've gone over, and we'll probably speak about to death today, about how the fact that the Cowboys were a really good attacking team and a really poor defensive team all the way back for about 2-3 years now. 2023, 2024. Maybe 2022 defensively still, but that was the year they got to the preliminary final. But the point of the matter is that they've actually, at this point of the season now, compared to this point of the season last year and the year before, they are 100 points worse off on the attack and also 180 or so more points worse off on defense. And that's bad because their defense has been poor for a couple of years now, right? It's just their attack that's been kind of pushing them up into that top 8 and putting scores past teams and getting good points differentials and whatnot, and really kind of fortifying themselves as a high attacking pace team, but a really poor defensive team, right? But this year, it's not that. They don't have the defense. It's actually worse by a decent stretch. And then their attack has fallen off greatly to the point that they are just outside of the bottom 4 for attack. So it's unfortunate right now the Cowboys just this year have fallen off really significantly in regards to the points they're scoring, because that's really where they made their bread. Now, last week they lost the Dolphins 43-24. There you go. That's kind of a lot more in line with how they've been in recent years, where they're able to score 24 points, which is a lot of points, but they gave up 43 points there to the Dolphins. They did lose the Bulldogs 12-8. Now, don't let that game fool you. It wasn't as good as that Panthers vs Bulldogs game. There was 17 errors for the Cowboys and 16 errors for the Bulldogs. It was a dreadful game, but they still found a way to lose it to the Dogs, who were kind of trying to give them the game at one point, but Cowboys couldn't get over the line. They lost the Storm 26-20 in a game that it was just completely Origin impacted. And then you go back to the battle of the dribblers there in the Cowboys and Titans, where the Titans obviously still scored 24 points, but the Cowboys scored 30, which, again, aligns with the fact that normally they're a good attacking team, 30 points, but not a good defensive team, 24 points, right? So, look, the Cowboys recently, they're not winning a great deal of games. They've lost 3 games in a row, their last one coming against the Titans, and even before that, they lost 42-8 to the Roosters and 58-4 to the Dolphins, and 38-14 to the Storm. So, they've had one win in their last 7, And that was against the last place Titans, and it's like, you guys, we can put up a team right now and probably beat the Titans with the way that we're going. So, the Cowboys not having a good season right now, and I think right now it's just about them avoiding the spoon, which I don't think they'll get. I think they've got enough. They're 2 wins above the spoon. They're 3 points above the spoon, but they're 2 wins above them. Because I think they've still got a bye to come, don't they? They do. They've still got a bye to come, the Cowboys. So they're probably good to avoid that spoon, but just avoid the bottom 4, because there are still a few teams just below them on 16 points, which is the Rabbitohs and the Knights, who also have a bye to come as well. So they're not out of that bottom 4 battle by any stretch of the imagination. And then the Dragons. Let's get into their team lineup. You've got Matthew Feeney coming in, with the out being Sione Finau. The fullback is Clint Gutherson, who is the captain, with the wingers being Tyrell Sloan and Corey Allen. Centers of Moses Sully and Matthew Feeney, with the 5'8" being Lycan King Tangia and Kyle Flanagan as the halfback. The front row forwards, David Clemmer shifts from the 10 into the 8, and Blake Laurie comes in off the bench onto the starting lineup, with Damien Cook as the hooker. Luciano Lua and Jaden Stewart are the back rowers, with Jack DeBellin as the lock. At the interchange, Emro Gula drops from the starters to the bench alongside Jacob Little, Hamish Stewart and Michael Mollo, with Nick Tigranis as the 18th man replacement, and the coach is Shane Flanagan. The Dragons, last week, they had their hearts broken, man, but they did it to themselves. They really did. They did it to themselves, taking that short dropout when they were up by 2 points with like 2 minutes to go. They're just going to kick that ball as far as they damn well possibly can, and then just back in their defense. But instead, they went for a really stupid decision. There was a couple of dodgy calls in that game too. Like, I believe Tyrell Sloan did score that try early on in the game. I don't think it was a forward pass, and I also believe there was a play the ball penalty or something like that went Bulldogs' way, that ultimately got the Dogs the win. But the point of the matter is that they still lost, and they did it to themselves in a lot of ways too, the Dragons. And that's kind of how the Dragons are. They are a good enough team to compete. They're like the Raiders of recent years. They're a good enough team to compete in games and be a tricky opponent. They're a very tricky opponent. But they're also not really good enough to make the 8. They're not really good enough to be amongst those big teams on a consistent level. But they're not awful. You know, they're not down there with the Titans, the Eels, the Knights. Like, technically, points-wise, they're not too far off, but they're far enough away, right? They're 4 points away from... well, to be fair, they're only 4 points away from last, but the point of the matter is that they are a much better team than those teams down there. It's just they're not consistently a much better team than those teams down there. The week before, they lost the Roosters 31-24. They lost the Raiders 28-24. Roosters were performing a little bit better, but still a lot of errors in them. Raiders, the team on top of the ladder. The Dragons obviously beat the Eel 34-20, had a bye, and were up 18-0 against the Sharks, but lost 30-18, which is a very key point about what this kind of team is. But the week before that, they lost 56-6 to the Dolphins, which can happen to them. You know, it can happen to them. So, look, you never know what you're going to get from the Dragons. I will tip them today. I will say that I think the Dragons should be able to win, but you just don't know. You don't know with either of these two teams. I would be more confident to say that the Cowboys are more consistently bad than the Dragons are consistently bad, because the Dragons are very much so a win, lose, win, lose, win kind of deal. Like, they'll just get a random win here and there because they are good enough to get a win. But like I said, it's just in regards to the consistency there with the Dragons, they just can't get a good motor on at any stage. And last week really was the killer in their season, in regards to getting into that top 8 battle alongside the Sharks, the Manly, Seagulls, and, you know, the Dolphins. And it was the Roosters too, but obviously I don't really believe they've got too heavy of a chance at the 8, but they are still there. So I will take the Dragons, and I will take them 1-12. Could see a world they win 13 plus. This game looks like it should have some points in it, especially with the Cowboys playing. Should have some points in it. Dragons got 430. The Cowboys have been at 531. So both teams not great defensively, but Dragons better defensively. And attacking-wise, the Dragons scored 372, whilst the Cowboys have scored 368. But that's with one more game played as well. So their defense is much better than the Dragons, even though it's still not great, whilst the Cowboys' attack is just underneath the Dragons with one game less played. So they're probably just above in regards to the old points there. So yeah, look, I'll take the Dragons here today, but just not confidently in a game like this. Now, in regards to the ladder before the game's going to start in 3 minutes' time, the Cowboys now on 17 points. They're on their own in 13th because of that draw with the Panthers. So don't worry about their points differential, which is the worst in the competition at minus 163. It's worse than the Titans, Rabbitohs, Eels. It's the worst in the competition. So that tells you a lot. The Cowboys, if they win this game, for the time being, would go above the Tigers. They would jump above the Dragons. So they would go into 11th position. That's as high as they can go. But they have to just hope that the Tigers lose to the Panthers, which you would expect on, I think it's Sunday, that game is played. So the highest that they can go is 11th. They probably do finish off the round in 11th if they do win. If they lose this game, however, they can technically drop off into 16th position. They can go down 3 spots, but I highly doubt it. So the Knights are on 16, the Rabbitohs are on 16, the Eels are on 16. The Knights play the Raiders. Good luck with that. The Rabbitohs play the Sharks. You have to expect the Sharks win that and by a bit. And then the Eels, they play the Broncos, and you'd have to expect the Broncos beat the Eels tonight in the game we'll be showing later on today. You have to assume that. So you would assume that if the Cowboys lose, they probably stay in 13th, but they can drop as low as 16th. They can't drop as low as 17th because the Titans are on 14 points. And then you got the Dragons. They're on 11th. They're on 18 points. If they win this game, they will go to 11th position. They cannot jump because the Roosters are 4 points above them. The points differential is minus 58, while the Tigers are minus 101. So if they win this game, they will just finish off the round in 11th position. If they lose this game, however, they've again got to hope that the Tigers don't beat the Panthers. If the Tigers did beat the Panthers, they'd go to 12th. They would also go to 13th because the Cowboys would jump them. And I guess if they lost by enough, the Knights are on a minus 90. If they beat the Raiders and the Dragons lost by enough here today, then technically the Knights would go above them. But you wouldn't even be looking at the minus 149 of the Rabbitohs and the Eels are on the exact same points differential there. So there we go. So the Dragons wouldn't drop off too much. They'd probably go to probably go to 12th. I don't see the Tigers beating the Panthers. If they win, they stay in 11th. And it's a bit of a dead point of their season right now. But again, they just have to win if they have any semblance of hope. I don't believe they do. But if they've got any semblance of hope to be competing for the finals, they must win today. Otherwise, it is just simply done. But all right, guys, let's get to the chat. Let's see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into the chat. And the Cowboys and Dragons are both out in the field now. Justin Sutter says, evening, Mr. Sport. No, it's 3 p.m. over here, buddy. No, it's good afternoon, Mr. Sport over here. Deary me, what do you think this is? What do you think? A beautiful day here in Vietnam. Absolutely, buddy, stunning day. Not a cloud, well, a little bit of a cloud, but not really clouds in the sky at all. Get around your Dame. Brocky Sports says hello. Nick Hill. Johan says, go the Cowboys. Ronald Mel says, hi, when is the next game start? As in this game? This game's about to start now, or the Broncos-Heels game will start right after it. It's the same schedule every single week, bro. It's the exact same schedule every single week. There is 1 game on Thursday, 2 games on Friday, 3 games on Saturday, and 2 games on Sunday. And they're always at the same time. Brocky Sports, this is a hard game of tip. It is. Who's the favourites? So I'm going to refresh it. The game has just started. The Cowboys will kick it off, and it will be out the full. Well done. That's a great start, North Queensland. Welcome. Welcome. We're going to be dribbling today. The Cowboys are favourites, are they, Dads? Damn. Okay, well, fair enough. Well, that's not a good start for the favourites. That's not a good start for the favourites. I've tipped... look, Val Holmes is out of the Dragons, but you shouldn't be relying on a centre to win your games. I'm a bit surprised that the Cowboys are favourites here, but I guess it's because they're at home. But the stats don't really align with them, man. So, yeah, that's a bit odd, but... Sure. First tackle for the Dragons. They're 30 metres out of the line. What a start there for the Cowboys. Kicking the ball out in the fall off the first kickoff. You'd love to see it. Levi says, I hope you're doing well and not starting any wars in Vietnam. Yeah, hopefully not. Dragons here out of the left-hand side, and they'll be taken down at the 10 on third tackle. I'll reply to this in a second. Third tackle, 10 metres out. They roll it back out to the right-hand side to King Tagia, then to Jack DeBellin, Kyle Flanagan, Jaden Sewer, Moses Sully, and Sully is going to be 10 metres away. Fourth tackle. I'm just getting past this sickness. I'm so close. I reckon by tomorrow I'll be sweet. Now, fifth tackle. They'll be 10 metres out here from the line. Back to Damien Cook. Cook off to Flanagan. Flanagan then to King Tagia. King Tagia passes it to... No, not the play. No, Fiona gets taken down on fifth tackle, 5 metres out. Not the play at all. Anyway, Levi said, I hope you're not starting any wars in Vietnam. Thanks for that. I'm now stuck with my Thai family arguing with my Cambodian in-laws. Footy and beer outside for me. Yeah, look, I don't know what it is, mate. Every country that I go to right now is just involved in wars. I was in America at the start of the year. They're always in bloody wars. But I was in America, and then they're buddy in everything. And then I went to India, and then the India-Pakistan war buddy kicked up a stink. And then I go to Thailand, and now Thailand and Cambodia slapping each other down. Hopefully Vietnam doesn't get involved, but Vietnam has told them to settle it down. But you don't want to mess with Vietnamese. They're very good. You just ask the Americans. But I don't know, it just seems to be following me at the moment. It just seems to be following me. Fit tackle now 45 metres away. Dasmo says, who you win? Who I win? Oh, I did tip the Dragons pre-game. But it's not an easy tip to make it all here. This is a very awkward matchup between these two teams. Very awkward. But Clint Gutho will bring it out now. First tackle to the 15. Okay, set from the Cowboys to start. Living Reed with the $8 donation says, not listening to Triple M propaganda, and I'm saying the Eels are winning today because they're getting really circle jerk behind the Mitchell Moses inclusion. Well, if the Eels win today, dearie me, first thank you if you don't know, but if the Eels win today, you know, that's a penalty. That's a high tackle against Reece Robson. It was Reece Robson. So a penalty to the Dragons at the 35 or so. You can't lose that game today to the Eels. You can't, because you're not even cemented in the top 8 just yet. Like, you're in 5th position. The Panthers probably jump you. Manly would have a chance of jumping you if they beat the Bulldogs. Sharks, their points differential's not good enough, but they're playing the Rabbitohs, so it's plus 80 for the Bronx, plus 21 for the Sharks. If they won by enough, then maybe. And the Rabbitohs are a very hard team to see scoring a lot of points right now, because when they even had more of their players, they couldn't score. Now they've got none of their players. I would assume they can't score all, but the Dragons, nearly broke through. Third tackle, 12 metres away. 12 metres away. Out to King Tagia, then to Damien Cook. Damien Cook to Jack DeBellin. Jack DeBellin to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan, this is a good rolling move, but Sully doesn't pass the ball out to the right to Tyrell Sloan. They'll be taken down 9 metres away. Loses the ball, goes backwards. And yeah, it's fine. So Tyrell Sloan, 4th tackle at the 10. Everyone thought there was a knock on there, but it went backwards by about 5 metres. Off to Kyle Flanagan. Then big run from Blake Laurie. He's 5 metres away from the line. 5th tackle. 5 minutes in, Damien Cook off to Flanagan. Flanagan at the 10, then to Gutherson, and again, they're going to get taken down. No, he gets the offload away to King Tagia. They're not even kicking the ball, which they're an awful kicking game, the Dragons, but I'm surprised they're not even trying to kick the ball here. Jaden Sewer off to Sully. Sully kicks that with a grubber, and it's an awful kick. This is the Dragons, but this is the Dragons. And Braden Burns is away here at the 25 to 30. The 35, he gets that ball off to Jackson Purdue, and he'll be taken out to the 45. That was a good run. Dragons' kicking game is just dreadful, and they haven't even been trying to kick it here today. Main Star says, good afternoon. Dadsmate says, I did eeny, meeny, mighty, mo, and I landed on the Cowboys. Wrong. Spartacus says, here we go again. Thanks for the streams, bro, from New Zealand. Appreciate you, bro. Kia mem. So now it'll be 3rd tackle at the 40. Take it easy on me tomorrow, Spartacus. Take it easy on me tomorrow. So 3rd tackle, and the Dragons have had multiple opportunities. We've been here for 5-6 minutes, and the Dragons have had 2 attacking opportunities on the line. They can't do jack shit with it. Olivia says, if the Eels win today, I'm out. Oh, yes. Tough. Oh, wow. That defense from the Dragons was so bad. And the Cowboys will score basically right next to the post on the left-hand side. 4-0 here with the kick to come. That defense of the Dragons was just something else, lads. That was really, really bad. Look at this. It's just a straight up run. What is Jack DeBellin doing? Like, it's a solid run, but at the end of the day, there is no world that ever should have been a line break. Jack DeBellin didn't even go close to him, and David Clemmer was also lazy as shit. That is 1,000,000,000% on Jack DeBellin and Clemmer, and they both wanted the other person to make the tackle. It's like you both should be trying to make the tackle. You both should be there trying to... That was just awful defense, man. Awful. Ibrahim says, you remember the scoreboard with that Jay telling you you're learning? No. I've always learnt, mate. I am the... What is it? I'm not going to say teacher. I was going to say something with learn, but... Learners not... Can't say learnee, because that would be me. You know what? Let's just forget that I ever said anything. Logan says, potential for worst game of the season right here. Well, that was one of the worst defensive reads of the season just then. Dasmate says, Manly are getting a 50 put on them. Oh, I don't know about that. I actually think it's going to be... I'm really excited for that game. I hope that game doesn't disappoint me, because that has the potential to be an absolute belter of a game. Manly are on absolute form right now, and the Bulldogs are very beatable as we currently speak, and Manly are fighting for their top 8. The Bulldogs are fighting for second. I don't think they're fighting for top 4. I think they should be... Bulldogs and above are locked in top 4 for mine. Whilst the Warriors are still a bit 50, not 50-50, they're like 70-30. Like they should be still making the top four, but they are only 4 points away. If they were to lose this week, which would be astounding, but if they lost the Titans, the Broncos beat the Eels, they'd only be 2 points in the top four, and the Broncos still have a better points differential than them, so by a decent bit, by about 44. So the Warriors aren't solidified just yet. Right, so I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I've just got a bit of a runny nose, mate. I'm not like coughing anymore, but I just got a bit of a runny nose still, which is frustrating, but, you know, we're fine. So 6-0 Cowboys, 7 minutes in. Dasmate says 95, I'm not reading Jay's coming out, 95 retro jersey plus first time playing them since the finals last year, revenge to a victim number 14. Number 14? Why number 14? Am I missing the joke there? Number 14. I understand everything else. It's just the the number 14 part that I'm a little bit confused by. But then again, you're a confusing bloke, Mr. Dasmate. Fourth tackle down for the Cowboys at the 40. Ronald says, no TV, no problem. Watching from the remotest problem part of Papua New Guinea. Get around your Papua New Guinea. Thanks for live streaming. Always. Good kick there from the Cowboys. The Dragons will go to the 15. And Gutho brings it out to the 21. The remotest problem part. So, is that like, are you talking about like Highlands or something like that? Because I'm seeing the word problem there. Or are you just saying like a problem in regards to getting TV going or something? I'm not sure. Ibrahim says, I wouldn't try and kick if my halfback was Kyle Flanagan. Yep, his kicking game is not exactly the best. They have had one kick so far, and it was Sully with a grubber, and it was awful. So, the Dragons, yeah, they're not a team that you rely upon for kicking. Last week, if they had any form of a kicking game, they probably would have won against the Dogs. Now, it's Manly to win and make it 13 wins in the last 14 games against the Dogs. Yeah, I'm just glad that the Titans were able to beat them this year, because it means, like, when I see Dad, I saw him last night, Cowboys now bring this ball out here to the 35. This Dragons defense is just allowing meters galore. Cowboys probably do win if this is how the game is going to go here. But I saw my dad last night, and he's talking about premiership. He's talking about Manly being premiership, and I'm just glad that I can humble him a little bit by saying that Cowboys are away again. Oh, good last-ditch tackle by Moses Sully. Good to humble him and remind him about that 26-6 Titans win, which was their only loss in the last quite a few games. Cowboys are making meters galore. Dragons, you might get Pampamundos here today if you play like this. 10 minutes into the game, 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Cowboys on the attacking line, 25 metres out. Ruben Cotter off to... who is this? I can't even see. Oh, Harrison Edwards. It'll be fit tackle, 10 metres out from the line. Robson. And... oh, dear, Dragons. Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky they didn't score that. Griffin Neem, 1 metre short, will get taken down fifth, so the Dragons get the ball 1 metre out. Oh, yikes, Dragons. Yikes. Brocky said, seen better defence than an under-8s game. Yeah, not great right now. That says it would be our 14th win on the season, you muppet. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, no, Griffin Name's bleeding right now. Just a bit of a stop in play. Oh, yes, because I know exactly how many wins every single team has had to the dot. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think about when I go to sleep at night, Daz, mate. Yes. Yes. Levi says, I don't know why, how, when, where, but that was the best game I saw Titans play against Manly. We weren't actually that terrible in that game. I don't know what happened. Yeah, we just had a good game. And we can do that. We can have good games. So look at last season, for example. We came off the back of losing 18-10 to the Tigers at Leichhardt, who ultimately came last for the third year in a row. And we had a bye, and the week after we beat the Warriors 66-6 at Seabus. You know, that's what the Titans randomly do. You know, and that's why people are sitting there, like Darren Lockyer at the moment, is sitting and saying, like, this is the kind of game the Titans would win. And it's like, this week is the kind of game the Titans would win. We have a good record against the Warriors, but I'm never backing it because I've backed Buddy so hard, and most of the time, Buddy goes the complete opposite way. But when you completely lose faith and completely lose any belief in the Titans, for some reason, they just find a way to win. Like, it's just when they're that bad, they just, I don't know, it just happens. All right, so Cowboys now, first tackle. They're 30 metres away here from their own line. Jacob says, no, they don't. Cowboys got the ball. Thank you, Jacob. I'm watching the game too. Yeah, no, we're both watching the same game here, Jacob. Third tackle now for the Cowboys at the 44. You think I'm just twiddling my thumbs, or? Cowboys by 30 points against the Dragons. Well, the way the Dragons are defending right now, I could definitely see a world. I could see a world where it might even be more than 30. Look at... Oh, God help us. This game has got to just be... The Dragons defensively today have been out of this world. Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, why is no one even attempting to make tackles? That one was on King Tagia. Robson literally just walks through the line, and then Dearden's obviously on the follow-up. The defense from the Dragons today has been genuine schoolboy level and not professional schoolboy level. Like, oh my gosh. 28 minutes to go this first half. This is schoolboy defense from the Dragons. DeBellin again misses the tackle, mind you. DeBellin was a significant part about the first try going through, and he's a significant part of the second try. King Tagia doesn't make a tackle, and DeBellin falls off the tackle. My goodness me. This is the point of the season, isn't it, folks? This is the point of the season. Dasmate says, should have dogs have 13 wins on the season tattooed on your head? Well, no, I don't know if I'm going to do that, Dasmate, but thank you for the advice. So 12-0 to the Cowboys, 13 minutes in. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm going to take that advice, Dasmate, but I appreciate the advice. Probably don't give advice ever again, no. No, probably don't do that. Ibrahim says, inside voice, mate. Oh, yeah, old mate. I don't know what he's saying, though. Like, he keeps commenting BK Sport, Penrith top 5 finish. What do you want me to reply to that? Like, what do you ask? You're not asking me a question. Is it a statement? And if it's a statement, it's like, well, okay, sure. Like, I can see it. They just need the Broncos to lose. I think the Broncos might play the Panthers, but like I don't know really what you wanted me to say here. I guess that's why Jay's timed you out, because you've just mentioned the same thing every time, and I don't really know what you want me to say. Middle says DeBellin will fit right in with Para. Mate, 2 tries here, and he's a big part of both tries. So Braden Burns now will get his ball to the 20, and it'll be second tackle. He just wants attention. Mate, don't we all? Big attention. Big attention. Well, if I want attention, I'll just start talking about the Titans again. Because they love that. Third tackle now at the 35, now to the 40. Must be a one-time wonder shithouse performance from DeBellin. He is always solid defensively and the best player for the Dragons. I would say Gutho's been the best player for the Dragons this year by a country mile. But yes, DeBellin is usually very, very solid. And maybe it's just, that's a really good kick from the Cowboys. That's going to sit in. That's going to sit in. Yep, Gutho's going to get taken in the in-goal here. I can understand why Gutho tried to wait for it to go dead, but the Dragons have had an all-time shithouse performance his first 14 minutes. And just remember, the Cowboys kicked the ball out on the fall off the first kick of the game, so you're assuming, maybe, okay, the Cowboys are going to fall apart here as well. But honestly, the Dragons could play the under-15s Tweed Seagulls right now and would probably lose with their defense and the way this game is going. There's chocolate tablets for that. Deary me. All right, so that's going to go to about the 30. Really interesting. Oh, the Dragons have decided to kick it like relatively long this week. Context of the game, don't really make sense to do that compared to last week, but sure. All right, so the Cowboys now, they're 20 metres away from the line. They go to the left to Tom Dearden. Dearden then to Harrison Edwards. 6 again for the Cowboys. Harrison Edwards, Dogs legend, Dasmate. Dogs legend, Harrison Edwards. First tackle, 11 metres away. Out to Dearden. Dearden to drink water underneath to John Bateman. And Bateman's going to be 5 metres away from the line. Second tackle. And now you got Robson. He'll go out to Tom Dearden. This defense is scrambled. This defense is scrambled. This defense is scrambled. But they do get at the end. At 7 metres out. Moses Sully's actually been quite solid today. Probably the only Dragon solid player at the moment. And now they'll be 5 metres away from the line through Ruben Cotter. 4 tackle. Off to Tom Dearden. And Dearden goes at himself. He'll be 3 metres away. Fit tackle. This is a little bit better defense than the Dragons. Now Robson. He kicks it through, and that's going to be a dropout. This is actually going to be a try. This might be a try. What are they calling here? No, they're going to go off for a no try. I think this is going to be a dropout. I think Gutho gets there. but they're going to check it. So a little grubber through from the dummy. Okay, can you press play? That'd be nice. And John Bateman coming through. Gutho underneath. Who's going to get there first? Oh, no, King Degear has not impact. Stop it. Oh, maybe they might actually say that King Degear does put his arm around him here and prevents him from getting a good opportunity at the ball. I don't think so, though. I don't think you could call that penalty. But without that preventative measure there from King Degear, he probably does get that try. This might be just a bin, not a penalty try, though, because Gutho's there. Does he pull away from it? And it's Gutho who puts the ball down. I think this could be a bin for King Degear, but a dropout coming up from the Dragons. We're still waiting. Can't hear anything from the bunker. Okay, decision pending. We didn't get to hear anything from the bunker, so no try. So no, they have said that King Degear, it's fine, and it's just going to be a dropout. Okay, sure. We didn't get to hear anything from the bunker, though. No professional foul is interesting considering what they would normally call, though, but sure. And the Dragons get the short dropout, and they're going to get this ball at the 38 with a good run from Luciano Leilua. So second tackle now for the Dragons, and they're going to get this ball to the 42. What is my score with the Broncos? I think the Broncos, if they're any realistic chance of doing anything this season, they have to put a big score past the Eels. I think they have to whoop him. Is Jerome Hughes out for the rest of the season? No, apparently he doesn't have to go for surgery. So he'll probably come for surgery after the season finishes. But I think they're saying he might be okay pretty soon. Storm fans, people who know back home, you'll have to let me know because I did see that he's delayed, that the surgery isn't an immediate need. So maybe he's able to play sooner rather than later. And that's going to be a drop ball from the Cowboys. And now it's going to be a penalty to the Cowboys instead. They're going to say he wasn't competing. Is that what they're saying? They're going to say that he wasn't competing. Oh, okay. It's funny that you called that one against the Storm yesterday. That's exactly the same thing. That's the exact same thing. And this is exactly what I was saying yesterday. Even though he's putting his hand up in the air, he's actually not really competing for the ball. At the end of the day, he is looking up with his hand in the air. That's the complete opposite call to what they called in last night's game for the Roosters Storm game that we blew up about. That's the exact opposite call. That one was the correct call just now. Last night, they got it wrong. Brenton says, I'm guessing I haven't missed much. You have missed two abhorrently bad defensive structural plays by the Dragons. You've seen just absolutely horrific defense. You've missed some absolutely horrific defense in the Dragons. So if you're a big fan of watching bad defensive plays, well, you missed out on a lot because it was bad. And Cowboys get the offload away here on fifth tackle, 25 metres away, Griffin Neem. And he didn't even pass it, so it's just going to be switch over to the Dragons. 6 weeks for Hughes. He'll be back for finals and most likely get surgery in the off-season. Yeah, I knew about the surgery in the off-season. I just didn't know when he'd be back. But that's good. Good news for the Storm, in a way. Obviously, that will just... Yeah, he'll be back in prime time for the finals. They'll be fresh and ready to go. But, that shoulder will impact him throughout the finals. Penalty to the Dragons. Penalty to the Dragons at 35. And it's just 40-2 Broncos. Why are you predicting the Eels to get 2 points? Are you predicting them to get a penalty extremely early on in the game and then do a Dragons? Basically what Cleary did last year and a few years back. Yeah. Yeah. Cleary's one has always been Cleary always seems to be... I'm not saying he's not injured, right? But he always seems to be withheld quite a lot during the middle to end of the season. And then is always ready to rock and roll and be fit and healthy and firing by the finals with a good rest on his rest on his back from the season, right in time finals. It's always very total slow. Out of nowhere, the Dragons will score, and it's 12-4 with the kick to come. That pass, attacking play was so slow, and that Cowboys defense was, again, really poor, but it was really quick passing there from the Dragons until that last pass, which kind of came out of nowhere. They're going down the short side, and yeah, it was a nice pass there from Sully. It was a nice pass from Sully, and the Cowboys defense came inside, and obviously free run to the line there for Tyrell Sloan. Jay says, why are we circle jerking the Broncos on the Cowboys Dragon stream? Hey, listen, you want me to shit in the Broncos, I can also shit in the Broncos if that's what we want to do. I'm not going to fight that. Brogan says, try time been bum my bitch. So 12-4 to kick to come. 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 12-4 kick to come. I hope this is a real close and good game, to be fair. Like, before the round started, the Roosters Storm looked like it was going to be a good game, and it ended up being an awful defensive game, but a really fun and close game in general. This game didn't look like it was going to be great. Broncos Eels doesn't look great. Warriors Titans doesn't look great, but has potential-ish. Panthers Tigers doesn't look great. Rabbitohs Sharks doesn't look great. Raiders and Knights doesn't look great. Bulldogs Manly looks amazing. So, like, before the round, there was only like 2 games that you really look at and go, oh, this will be a good round. But hopefully this is at the very least close. And Carl Flanagan will convert it. So it is 12-6 with 20 minutes to go the first half. 12-6. And considering it, the red hot... So this game's been a bit weird. Cowboys kick the ball out in the full off the kickoff. And the Dragons get 2 beautiful attacking opportunities 10 metres out. Get tackled on 5th both times. And then Cowboys go up and immediately score. And then immediately score again through 2 ridiculously bad defensive plays from the Dragons. And now the Dragons have gone and scored on the other side. This is just going to be back and forth, this game, I reckon. Ibram says Broncos fans love a circle jerk. They do love a big circle jerk. Big Circle Jerk Nation. They say Bronx Nation. It should be Circle Jerk Nation. But David Clemmer, strong run there to the 15. Runs the ball hard. If only he could have made a defensive play on that first Cowboys try. Now, Luchan Leilua. And they go right-hand side again. They're finding some good space. They get to the 22. They're finding some good attacking raids on this right-hand side. Now to Jaden Stewart. And Jaden Stewart is going to be 33 metres away. Micah says Storm cheats. Why? What? Why? Well, why? What's the point? What's the relevance? Are you talking about last night, or are you talking about 15 years ago? What's happening? Salary cap breaches, bro. What's that? What are you talking about today? You know, you bring up Penrith Ramley that has no... At least that's a lot more relevant than talking about the Storm salary cap breaches of the late 2000s. That was like 18, 15 years ago. And the Storm's not even playing. Cowboys now at 25. Why are we talking about the Storm here? Did you only just find out about that cheating? Or you didn't get to see when the Storm walked out altogether in 2010? That was 15 years ago when they got caught up for that. Levi says this game is interesting no matter what, because even if either team lead by 20 points, you still couldn't trust them to close out the game. Yeah, I think, Jay, you can probably deal with that, or Mods. But yeah, you're right, Levi, but you kind of think that with every game, to be fair. Like, we've seen even the team in first throw away a 20-0 lead this year. They were up 20-0 against the Dogs and lost 30-20, so like we can see that. Yeah, David Clemmer on report there for, I think, a high knee. But Cowboys are 40 metres away here from the Dragons line. And back onto the attack will be first tackle for Jeremiah Nene at the 35. But yeah, like this game, both teams are dreadful, so you would expect anything to happen at any point. So third tackle here, 24 metres out. We've seen the Dogs throw away an 18-0 lead too, mind you. Forward pass here from the Cowboys. Actually, here we go. I'll give you a good rundown for all teams. Raiders gave a 20-0 lead to the Bulldogs and lost 32-20 I think it was. The Storm, in second position, gave up a 16 points to 2 lead against the Dolphins at, I think it was halftime maybe. No, it was 16-2 to the Storm, and they lost that game 42-22. No, I think it was 18-2. It was either 16 or 18-2 to the Storm, and they lost 42-22. The Bulldogs were up 18-0 against the Broncos and lost that game 20-18. The Warriors, have they given up a big lead? Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. I don't know if they have. If the Warriors and stuff have, then let me know in the chat, but I can't really remember a Warriors one. All right, Carl Flanagan gives it off to Jaden Sewer. And Sewer is going to be 48 metres away from his own line, third tackle. Jay's had enough. Jay's had enough, son. He's ready to punch on. 6 again for the Dragons at the 45 on the Cowboys side of the field. 6 again. First tackle out to Damien Cook. Cook to King Tagia. King Tagia. Gutho. Good pass away over to the left-hand side. The Dragons are away here. Dragons are away here. And taken down 8 metres out from the line. And it's going to be a penalty to... Too far out for a bin. What? So there's going to be a player taken out here without the ball. Gutho... Okay, that's fine. Oh, they're holding back King Tagia. Yeah, but what do you mean it's too far out? Like, it happens about 22 metres away. At the end of the day, it is preventing an opportunity. That doesn't... How is it not a professional foul? He's deliberately held him back from getting into the play of a line break. That doesn't make sense. That's a great pass from Gutho, but that doesn't make sense. King Tagia has been held out of the play on a line break. How can you say that's not a professional foul? I disagree with Grant Atkins there. That doesn't even make sense. First tackle now, and now David Clemens can be 15 metres away, second tackle. So you said there's a penalty. You said it's a foul. He has prevented him from getting into the play of a line break, and that's not a professional foul because it's too far out, but it's only 22 metres away from the try line. How does that even make sense, Grant Atkins? So Jacob Little, he'll go to Carl Flanagan, King Tagia, left-hand side, over the sideline, Grassy McGrath! Oh no, Cowboys. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kyle Labert, that is something else, man. No, it didn't go over the sideline. It was about to. It stayed in, but it was still probably going to go over. But Kyle Labert touches it, knocks it on, and now it's Dragons ball again. Oh my goodness me. Mitchell says the Warriors can't get out to a big enough lead to begin with. That is actually a valid point, Mitchell. That is actually a valid point. Yeah, Labert making that mistake, that was poor. That was really poor. So Dragons first tackle, they're 15 metres away from the line. That was really poor from Kyle Labert. 15 minutes left of the first half. Jacob Little out to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan at the 13. And now Emre Gula is going to be 7 metres away from the line. Second tackle. They've been here quite a bit today, the Dragons. Kyle Flanagan off to Sewer. They did score one down the right-hand side. That's a good offload. It's a good offload again. They should score. They should score. They should score. Oh, it's great cover defense by Kyle Labert. Oh, well, that's a penalty. Oh, well, it's 6 again. Whatever, sure. Dragons are going to be 1 metre short here. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what... This is all over the shop. Okay, we're going to the bunker here. So they're going to go to the bunker to see if this is a try. I don't think he does, but like this was just all over the shop. This. Yeah, Robson. I don't know what Robson is doing. Robson jumping through from dummy, diving through the ruck is offside 6 again. All that, but I don't know. Yeah, that's as close to a professional foul as you can get. Yeah, Grant Atkins, you got to do. Well, the bunkers got to do something like that. You can't dive in the ruck like that. Like, honestly, there should have been a bin for the Cowboys like a few seconds ago. That should be, but they won't call it. But it's going to be Dragons get the ball at the 10. Prey says, I think after Roosters lost last night, the last spot is between Manly and Dolphins. Last spot's between Manly, Dolphins and Sharks. 2 spots between the two. Yeah, Zach Labert. Yeah, that's my bad, Lagan. Maybe my brain got confused with... I don't know why my brain got confused there and said Kyle. Maybe Kyle Felt from back in the day. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be a no try here. So Dragons are going to restart this ball at the 10. I don't understand how the Cowboys aren't getting done for a professional foul. No, so they're just going to restart it at the 1, sorry. So Damien, yeah, the commentaries talk about this professional foul too. Like, both should have been professional fouls, but anyway. Emre Gula, he is 4 metres away from the line, second tackle. Second tackle for the Dragons. Flanagan off to Luchan Leilua. Leilua with a strong run. He's going to be 2 metres short of the line. They roll it back, Little, and that arguably is another 6. It is a 6 again. And the Dragons on first tackle now. There's a penalty 6 against galore here, Grant Atkins. You've got to sort some shit out. You haven't given a sin bin for one play which should have been. You haven't given a sin bin for another play that should have been. We've seen multiple 6 agains, and now we've seen a penalty. Dead set, Grant Atkins. Like, get this game in control. The Cowboys are very clearly... I can't believe we haven't seen a sin bin in this last 3 minutes. So Dragons are 10 metres away here from the line. 13 minutes to go in the first half. Okay, well, he's given them a warning at the very least. Good on you, Grant Atkins, for gosh sake. Emre Gula, 10 metres away, first tackle. Jacob Little off to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan out the back to Clemmer, and Clemmer's going to be 5 metres away. Gets the offload away. Jacob Little. Little 3 metres away, second tackle. And now you got Damien Cook. He'll go out to the right. Off to King Tagia, then to Flanagan. Flanagan short ball to Gutherson. Gutherson nearly gets through a hole, but he'll be 5 metres out, third tackle. That should be 6 again. Deary me, Grant Atkins. Get the game in control. Damien Cook, King Tagia, he grubbers it through. Try time for the Dragons. Try time for the Dragons. It's a great pick up there by Matthew Feeney. Great pick up, and they will score 12-10 with a kick to come. 12-10 with a kick to come. And it looks like it's about to be all tied up, despite a really fast start for the Cowboys at the beginning of the game. Is now about to probably be 12-12. And that's a really tough pick up there by Feeney. Vince has great commentary, mate. Appreciate you, man. We're here for pretty much every single game, so we get around it. But, yeah, really nice kick there from King Tagia. Just a nice grubber in behind. Drinkwater's on the other side of the field, and too easy there for Feeney to come through, grab it. Praise says, I get excited for Manly vs Bulldogs game, but see Ashley Klein as ref. Yeah, valid. But no, that Bulldogs-Manly game should be a belter. It should be an absolute belter. I've been saying that all week. Oh, yeah, he gets it. It hits him on the chest. Hold on. Yeah, he gets it down. I don't know why Cowboys fans are cheering as if there's a knock on there. It's fine. Brocky Sports says, try time, bing bong, mother, boosh. By the way, what are you, a Broncos fan now, Brocky? I seen your story. Jumping on the Broncos bandwagon, buddy. What are you doing, eh? What are you doing? You from the Gold Coast? You from Brisbane, Brocky? Deary me. Unbelievable, eh? What do you think this is? You think it's a Broncos circle jerk? I thought we got away from the Broncos circle jerk from before. Deary me, Brocky. Carter says, go Cowboys, please, one try. Well, the Dragons did get a try, and they're going for the conversion now. Kyle Flanagan just to the left-hand side. And Flanagan will... Oh, no. Oh, he has got it. Oh, curled in just. So there's 12-12. 12 minutes to go in the first half. At least it's a little bit of an exciting game. Like, the defense is just not defensing for the most part. This last try for the Dragons was probably the, least bad defense of the lot. It's just it was a really nice kick from King Tagia. The first 3 tries, though, those 2 tries the Cowboys came back with Dragons looking like absolute specimens when it came to the defense. But the first try for the Dragons also was pretty rough. But look, I'd say the Dragons have scored 2 nice tries, whilst, the Cowboys have scored 2 tries off the back of the Dragons just looking pathetic defensively. Everyone says scoreboard. Okay, let me refresh it. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so the Dragons now, they have the ball at the 11. First tackle. Probably says, I thought it was an easy game to make some bets. Well, it should be. However, Moses is back for the Eels, so it could be more of an interesting game than people think. It could be more of an interesting game. But then again, the Eels are the Eels. Broncos are very much like the Roosters, though. I'm just throwing that out there. People forget about it. Little gets the ball to the 40 on fourth tackle. Broncos are very much like the Roosters. They make a bunch of errors, but they can still win games. They've got an easy schedule, and they should win. They should win a few games here, but ultimately, if you watch their games, you know that they make a lot of errors. And look, the Eels are trying to avoid the spoons. They're still playing for something. And they got Moses back into the game, but Payne Haas obviously back for the Broncos. That should be huge for them as well. Now, second tackle for the Cowboys, and they're going to be 25 metres away from their own line. Brenton says, what stadium is the Dogs-Manly game? Core Stadium. It's a Core on Sunday. But it's like this was the same time of the year last year where the Dogs were looking real pretty, and then They lost to the Manly in one of the last rounds of the season. I think it was like round 25, 26, which is a few games after now. But around 25, 26 or so. And then obviously played them in the first week of the finals, and the Dogs were the home team at a core, and Manly obviously beat them again. All right, Cowboys on fit tackle at 30. Kick it across here to the 15. Cowboys grab it and get thrown over the side. Low, he gets that ball back in field. Back to the 35. Tom Dearden, he'll flick it all the way across here to Drinkwater. He's going to have to kick this ball away, and it's a pretty good kick. And that will be... Oh, no, Dragons. Oh, no, Dragons. You haven't just dropped that ball. Cowboys, first tackle, 5 metres away here from the... Or 0 tackle, 5 metres away. That was bad from Gutherson. Tom Dearden, he's going to be 9 metres out now, first tackle. That was not good. Oh, is it an Allianz lagging? No, it can't be. What? Is it Allianz to replicate the grand final? What? Second tackle now. And now Griffin named too easy. Straight through. Griffin named straight, too easy, and it is 16-12 here with the kid. No! Oh no, what is he called? Are they saying forward pass? So Robson, they've called this as a forward pass. It's a no try, Cowboys. Oh! I don't know. What would you guys say? For those who are actually watching it too, what would you guys say? Oh, it is an Allianz. You're right, Logan. That's why, though. Bulldogs' home ground is an Allianz. Why? Oh, is there a Wallabies game on this weekend in Sydney? Are the Wallabies playing? The British and Irish Lions this weekend in Sydney? Dasmate says it's at Allianz because the Dogs are celebrating 30 years since the 95 Premiership over Manly game was Allianz. Oh, fair enough. There you go. You can understand my confusion, though. You can absolutely understand my confusion because that's not the Bulldogs' home ground. Third tackle now for the Dragons at the 25. Now fourth tackle at the 30. And Jacob Little gives it up to Damien Cook. And also, Logan, how about instead of saying have a research, please, why don't you just answer the question like a normal human being would? That'd be pretty cool. Because I guarantee you probably would have known the answer. While he's playing Melbourne. Okay, fair enough. So it's going to be second tackle now for the Cowboys, and they'll be at the 30. Yeah, well, Lagan, how about this? Do you understand this confusion? How about that one? How about that one? Do you understand that confusion? Confuse that one. Brent says, Manly had beef with every team at this point. Oh, yeah, Manly were known as the Silvertails for a reason. Fourth tackle for the Cowboys, and they're going to get this ball to the 50. Great run by Cohen Harris. He gets all the way to the 38 on the Cowboys side of the field. But yeah, no, Manly definitely has beef. I don't think they're as hated nowadays as they once were, though. Out to Jeremiah Nene to 20. They're making metres galore here. Fifth tackle, 10 metres out from the line for the Cowboys. Now, Braden Burns, he'll get to Drinkwater. Drinkwater 10 metres away. A little dink over the top. And they'll get taken back into the in-goal. So there'll be a dropout coming up from the Dragons to the Cowboys. Yeah, definitely in the in-goal. Yeah, sorry, I thought the referee was saying it was out of the in-goal. Casey says, Broncos never throw forward passes ever. Oh, well, Broncos are actually the ones who initiated the forward pass, the Denver Broncos. Yeah, no, the old Reese Walsh. He doesn't mind a little bit of Peyton Manning. Doesn't mind a little bit of Jared Goff and Tom Brady. Three of the best quarterbacks of all time, obviously. You know, Tom Brady's still trying to emulate Jared Goff's success, but, you know, here's what it is. So Cowboys now, they're 11 metres away from the line. After the short dropout, and Robinson goes right-hand side to Labert. And he's going to be 2 metres out now, second tackle. 6 again for the Cowboys. First tackle off to Tom Dearden. Dearden off to Drinkwater. And Cowboys will be about 7 metres away from the line. Caden Lars, second tackle. Pushes actually to about 4 metres out. And they'll... But no, that's not good. Oh, surely not. Surely not, Dragons. Surely not. Oh, my gosh. Dragons have just given up a ridiculously easy try. That's strong from Cohen Hess. Like, don't get me wrong. That's strong from Cohen Hess, but that should not have been a try. Dragons have just given up a really easy one right to the right-hand side. Their defense with these tries hasn't been great. Why is there no help here? So obviously one falls off the tackle. Why is Gutho not even attempting to get underneath the ball there? I'm sorry. That's actually more so on Gutho. Luciano Leilua is trying to make the tackle here. Cohen Hess obviously very strong. Why is Gutho not right there going underneath? That's on Gutho for mine. Gutho falls off the tackle, but while Cohen Hess is still up in the air, why is he not coming underneath to try and prevent the try from coming down? And ultimately Cohen Hess does get away from Luciano Leilua and puts the ball down. Gutho's going to be doing better there, and he normally does. He's usually pretty good for that. Gutho's going to be doing better to get back underneath the tackle to prevent that. But anyway, 16-12 to the Cowboys with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Praise says, Manly being hated by everyone was the reason why I picked them, but it definitely has died off now. Hard to be hated with the Turbo Brothers. I don't think the Turbo Brothers got anything to do with it, but I can see the point. I would say the reason why Manly aren't as hated anymore is because they're not as successful as they once were, and they're not, doing what they did with like the Eels, the Silvertails, and that type of stuff in the, I think that was 70s and 80s and all that kind of jazz, maybe 70s. But they're not the same team that they once were. They don't have as many grubs as they do, which I guess lines with what you're saying there with the Turbo Brothers. But there's more teams to hate now. You've got the Panthers because they're so successful, but they're not like hated on that kind of level. The Broncos because of their previous success and because of the ego and the origin rivalry. A lot of New South Wales fans will obviously hate the Bronx. The Storm because they're cheating bastards in the late 2000s, but also because of their success. There's more teams to hate nowadays, compared to back then when it was really seriously like Manly controlling a lot of the narrative. Harley says Gutho has money on the Cows. He absolutely should have been getting underneath that. I couldn't believe that. Usually he's good for that though. Like usually his defense is quite on point and he does get underneath to prevent the ball from going down, but he just didn't even. It's like he had one of those times where your brain just doesn't brain and you just like exist for like 2 seconds as you're trying to even have a thought process, and Gutho just didn't seem to have a thought process there. But anyway, he's usually better than that. First take off the Cowboys at the 15. Both games to start this round have been very high scoring. 34-30 the Storm yesterday, and 18-12 already. And the Cowboys are away. Tom Dearden at the 35, at the 40, the 45, taken down. Good run from Tom Dearden, though. Second tackle. Jack says the Cows look dangerous, though. The middle of the park, they need to keep attacking through the middle. Do they look dangerous, or do the Dragons just look really bad defensively? Because the Cowboys this year, attacking-wise, haven't been spectacular. Like, they can score points, don't get me wrong, but they're also in the bottom 5, bottom 6 for attack as well, which is compared to, like, a top 4 attack and a bottom 6 defense that they've had, bottom 4 defense for many years. Look, you know what I mean? Like, Drinkwater finds a massive gap there. Cowboys are 5 minutes out. He should be taking over the sideline here. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I mean? Are the Cowboys actually looking dangerous? Like, how do they score that? How do they score that? You know what I mean? Like, there's literally 2 players on top of the Cowboy player, and they fall off the... How do you... it's not even having a crack at you, Jack. I'm just saying, like, I don't think this is on the Cowboys. The Dragons defensively... Blocker just said, how have they scored that try? How have they scored this? Gutho misses the tackle. Oh my gosh, oh no, he does go over the sideline. No, his right arm does touch the sideline there. If this is a try, Dragons fans have got to be fuming. Like, they've got to be furious with their team right now. But I'm pretty certain his right arm will touch the sideline here. He goes down to his right arm will touch the sideline. That's very lucky with the Dragons. Prey says Dragons already have eyes set on Barley. Absolutely. Gutho trying to take him. Yeah, like, there's 3 plays there. They're very lucky his right arm will touch that sideline. Very lucky. Prey says, hate the Panthers because they're successful and hate the Eels because they run their mouth like they're successful. Valid on both points. But I don't hate success. I respect success. But I would just like a different team to win for the purpose of it being a fresh comp and, another community getting their happy moment. And that's why, like, I would prefer the Broncos to win the Panthers, Storm, or the Roosters on the basis that it's just a different team, right? Because the Panthers won the last 4 years in a row. The Storm won the year before that. The Roosters won 2 years before that. Those 2 years. The Storm won the year before that. And then you go back to the Sharks in 2016, which is the last time a team won that wasn't the Storm, the Roosters, or the Panthers, right? So it's just about kind of seeing another team, another community in the NRL get their time in the limelight. And that's why, although I'd get shit from Broncos fans, at the end of the day, like, it's all good entertainment. First tackle now for the Dragons, but I respect the success. I don't think the Panthers have gone around the wrong way. I think they've been actually one of the teams that have gone around it the right way. The Storm, on the other hand, different story. And the Roosters, they're fine. Second tackle. But they buy a lot of players, but it's like it is what it is. Flanagan out to the right-hand side, and Tyrell Sloan will be third tackle at the 40. Moses, I'm so angry I can't even spell. The Saints need to relearn how to tackle. It's a great point, Mo. This first half has been a defensive masterclass on the how not to defend teaching point. Gutho, he'll get his ball to the 45 on fifth tackle. Harley says, Cows don't look good, Dragons just super shit. I would be a lot more inclined to believe that, yes. Because it's easy to say a team looks good when they're making line breaks, but if you're watching the game and you're seeing how they're getting these line breaks, or you're seeing the lack of defensive tackling from the Dragons, you know, like, I guarantee you. Actually, I don't know how the effective tackle percentage will be. I don't think the Dragons on an effective tackle percentage will actually be that bad. Because they're not actually missing a great deal of tackles on the basis that they're not even close to making the tackle. 4 tacklers, and they're not even making a touch on the player. 2 minutes 17 to go the first half. James says Gutho needs to retire. Well, Gutho is very overhated, to be fair. He's not an X-Factor. Oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, my God, Dragons. Oh my gosh, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what are we watching, Dragons, defensively? So Drinkwater's going to score there. Drinkwater's going to score. All it took was to walk through the line just then for the Cowboys. Who misses this? Yeah, Mo's angry. Mo has put one letter, F, and like, look, what's Damien Cook running out of the line? Oh my God. Oh, Dragons fans, I feel for you. This is garbage footy, Mo says. Damien Cook darting out of the line just then served absolutely zero purpose, and Tom Din just runs through, and then guess what? You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3 plays in support. It's a 4-on-1. 4-on-1. Jackson, I thought the Cows had the worst defense in the NRL until I see this half. And that's the funny thing, right? Because the Cowboys, they have given up this year 531 points. The Dragons this year have given up 430 points. The Cowboys are the worst defensive team in the comp. They are. And the Dragons defensively have been better than the Tigers, the Rabbitohs, the Eels, the Titans. You've also got the Roosters. They're not too far away from the Sharks. They've given 16 points more than the Raiders, but like ultimately, the Dragons' defense is very much where they are, 11th, 10th kind of range, whilst the Cowboys are dead last for defense. But this first half has just really been shocker. And the Dragons have played one more game than the Cowboys. They're 18-17. The Dragons have scored 372 to the Cowboys 368. So you would assume the Cowboys' attack will be just above the Dragons there with the equalisation of games. With an extra game, they'd probably get around the 18 and 20 points. But, you know, the Dragons have been just abhorrent today. Abhorrent. Appreciate you, Mo, for joining up as a member, man. Appreciate you, my guy. And the Dragons will kick this one down to the corner. It is 24-12 to the Cowboys with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Prey says, yeah, I don't actually hate the Panthers, just envious of their success. We all are. We all are, but I respect how they got there. But it's time somebody new had a crack now. It's not about hating the success. It's more about hating the continuity, I would say. It's more about, like, for example, you look at the NBA, yeah? 24 seconds left the first half. You look at the NBA. In recent years, you've seen the Golden State Warriors win, the Milwaukee Bucks win, the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're two teams very historic. Oh, Cowboys. Oh, Dragons. Oh, Dragons. Oh, my gosh. Luckily, they got him just before he got away. 35 metres out. Go for a field goal, Cowboys. Please, Shane Flanagan, please have a crack at him at halftime for this defense. Drinkwater kicks his ball across. It's a nice kick in a good area. No, oh, okay, Cowboys are going to score. Dragons, go to bed. Dragons fans, go to bed. Go to bed. Dragons fans, you got to go to bed. It's time to go to bed, Dragons. Dragons fans, it's time to go to bed. This is bad. Like this is, if you're watching this game, this is bad stuff. This is bad stuff. Mo says I should go to bed. It's 2 a.m. in Los Angeles. Oh man, don't worry, man. I was in Chicago in 2019, and my team got the wooden spoon for the Titans, obviously. So I know all about having to wake up or stay up very late for games like this. But it's a good kick there from Drinkwater, but the Dragons just, you know. Tyrell Sloan. Yeah, it's actually because of the... Oh, no, it goes backwards from Braden Burns, I reckon. This is probably going to be a try. I would say that went backwards. Alpha says Dragons fans punching air right now. No, they're probably punching brick walls right now, man. They're probably punching brick walls with their forehead watching this. Yeah, I would say that goes backwards from Braden Burns. Mitchell says, can't blame Cook. He's playing out of position. He should be playing in the centres. Well, he was in the centre. That's the funny thing. Because he was in the centre when he darted out of the line just then. Broggy Sports makes the Titans defence look good. Again, the Titans are the second worst defensive team in the comp behind the Cowboys prior to this game. Well, still. The Titans, but they've played one less game too. Oh, he misses the kick, so it will stay 28-12 at half time. Well, gee whiz. What a half that was. Mitchell, member for 24 months, says, fuck you, Dragons, you had one job. Well, yeah, this is not good if you're a Dragons fan. Let's go through some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm actually scared to look at these stats. I'm actually scared. But like I said, thumbs up, subscribe. Now, possession-wise, Cowboys 53%. The Dragons are 47%. Time possession is 13 minutes, 11 for the Cowboys, and 11 minutes, 33 for the Dragons. Now, completion rate is actually very good for both these teams. Cowboys are at 80%, which is 17 from 21. Now, that is exactly where you want to be looking for. Obviously, you want to aim for higher, but that's where you need to be at the very minimum at 80%. They're good. Dragons are 95% completion rate. That's a near perfect first half. They've had one incompletion. 19 from 20 completed sets is now it's 19 from 21. So take that away. But 90% is still spectacular. That is really good. 19 from 21. Now, these stats will update at half time, but take it as a guide. Attacking all runs, 97 for the Cowboys, 85 there for the Dragons. So a 12 switch. 12-run switch. I won't know myself when I don't have this running nose anymore. Gee whiz, it'll be bloody so easy. Again, it's so difficult with this running nose stuff. But 12-run switch there from the Dragons, 85 to the Cowboys. Now it's 86 to 98 to the Cowboys. The Cowboys' run meters is 1,134, whilst the Dragons are at 766. Oh my gosh. That is a near enough 400 point run meter swing. That is near enough a 400 run meter swing, and I'm about to even make it worse for you, Dragons, because if you give yourself 12 runs to get up to the 98, so let's assume the Dragons have the same amount of ball as the Cowboys. So you go Dragons 86, you push them up to 98, they're both on 98, and then you average it at 10 meters per run. So that's 120 meters you give you, just to kind of equate it. You're now at 886, right? They're still at 1,134. So even trying to equate it to a similar level, you're at 886 to their 1,134. That is appalling. The Cowboys are mauling you right now. They are mauling you. And it is on the back of your own defense. Like, just terrific. And you'll love the average set distance in a second. Now, post-contact meters is 317 for the Dragons, 290 for the Cowboys. So at the very least, the Dragons are absolutely dominating them with the post-contact, like dominating them. 27 post-contact meters in front, and they're 12 runs in total behind. The Dragons are killing them post-contact, but it's doing jack shit for the game. Line breaks is 8-2 Cowboys. Tackle breaks is 16-14 Cowboys. So the Cowboys have actually... so the Dragons have missed 2 more tackles. But with that being said, at the end of the day, the missed tackles aren't being counted a lot for the Dragons because a lot of the time the defensive structure is just literally so all over the place that they can't even put a hand on a player to miss the tackle, because the tackle has been missed by the collective rather than an individual, because nobody is touching him, because the structure is broken. And that's what the Dragons have been doing. Average set distance. Anything under 25, you turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is, you wouldn't even split it. 30 to 35 is very underwhelming. 35 to 40 is an average where you would expect set distance. Then you've got, we've got a bug there. Then you've got 40 to 45, which is a very good average set distance. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and then 50 plus is perfect. The Dragons are at 36.5 metres on an average set. So that is on the mid area of average. They are getting what they need to get done on an average set. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing awful, but it's nothing great, right? It's just flatline 36.5. The Cowboys are at 54. The Cowboys are at 54. That is ridiculous. 54 is perfect. That is a quite literal perfect first half in regards to how many metres they're making. That is outstanding. 54 metres on an average set distance is out of this world. And the Dragons, that's how poor they've been. Average play the ball speed is 3.27 there for the Cowboys, 3.28 for the Dragons. So both going at a pretty fast play the ball rate. It's quite fast. Offloads is 8-3 Dragons. Then you've got the kick refusal of 33% for the Cowboys, 25% for the Dragons. But the forced dropouts is 3-0 Cowboys way. And then you go to the effective tackle percentage, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not a reflection of this game. This is not a reflection of this game at all in regards to the effective tackle percentage, because they're missing by large margins, which isn't being counted as the missed tackles. 87.31% for the Cowboys. That's underneath the marker. So 88% to 90% is where you need to aim to be. 90% and above is absolutely incredible. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. You're not hitting the mark. And then anything under 85% is pathetic. But the Cowboys are at 87.31. So that's on the higher end of underwhelming. Defensively, on a pure stat metric of effective tackle percentage, they're not performing that great. There are 172 tackles made, 14 missed tackles, and 11 ineffectives. That's 25 bad tackles in the first half. That is not that great. It's not awful by any means, but it's not that great. Whilst the Dragons, they're at 89.67%. So you're telling me the Dragons have been better defensively than the Cowboys here today? Don't think so. Don't think so, buddy. 89.67% is on the higher end of like a very, of what you need to be expecting to get, right? It's pretty good. 165 tackles made for 16 missed tackles and 3 ineffective. They're very much limiting the ineffective, but the missed tackles are getting up there. But this is a very generic missed tackle count for half-time for teams. That's why yesterday's Melbourne Storm at half-time at 27 was out of this world, right? 16 is not horrific. It's not great, but it's not horrific. But 19 bad tackles there for the Cowboys compared to the 19 bad tackles for the Dragons, whilst 25 bad tackles there for the Cowboys. 89.67 to 87.31. This is why stats don't tell you the full story. You need to be able to watch the game and look at the stats and then piece them together. And I know why that stat is trying to show you the Dragons defensively have been pretty good when they haven't. Because of the fact that their defensive structures are so broken right now. They are so broken that a lot of missed tackles aren't actually being classified as missed tackles on that basis. Negative play errors, 5 for the Cowboys, 2 for the Dragons. It's a very good Dragons stat there. Penalties conceded, 5 Cowboys, 2 Dragons. Another very good Dragons stat there. Ruck infringements, 2-1 Cowboys, 1-1 inside 10 metres and 1-1 on reports. So these stats will tell you the Dragons are actually not defending too poorly when they are. The errors are very good for the Dragons, and penalties conceded are very good. Cowboys, maybe not so much. The run meters is just diabolical in favour of the Cowboys. They are just destroying them outside of the post-contact. And the average set distance is just killing. Completion rates are good for both teams. Honestly, this is a very similar stat line the Dragons usually have, where the stats don't actually show the Dragons are too far out of it, but yet the game is showing a different story. And right now, the game has definitely been showing a different story to how those stats are lining up. Because they've just, it's been horrific. But there you go, that's halftime. Great, Alazor says my money is gone. If you bet on the Dragons, I would say so, but I've seen plenty of comebacks in this sport, man. I've seen plenty of turnarounds, that's for sure. Plenty of turnarounds, so I wouldn't wipe it out just yet. It's still only a 16-point game, but which take us back 15, 20 years ago, a 16-point game is ludicrous. That's a massive score. But nowadays, that's 2 very quick tries and you're back into it. There's still 40 minutes to go. So I wouldn't be throwing away no tickets yet. But at the end of the day, the Dragons have been very, very poor. Brenton says, take a shot every time Blaze mutes his mic. Well, you want me to sniffle into the mic for you? Would you rather hear that? Would you rather hear me sniffling all day because of my buddy sickness? If you'd rather me do that, I can do that for you, Brenton. I cared about you guys and didn't want you to hear me sniffling the whole damn well day. So if you'd like me to leave it unmuted for you, Mr. Eselig, I can happily do that for you, but it's not going to be the greatest of sounds, champion. All right, Jay, Will. Dragons, must you waste my money? Well, to be fair... Oh no, here we go. Oh no, here we go, Jay. Where is that? Where? I don't even know where that is, to be fair. Yeah, sure, leave it unmuted. Unmuted, eh? Alright, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. But still have time, Still have time. Prey says, I feel like if you were back home, your depression from Titans would be 1,000% worse. Beaches and Southeast Asian food is good cope mechanism. Oh, no, absolutely. I say this openly. I say this absolutely openly. I wouldn't have been able to cope this year if I was going to every single Titans game like I usually do. No way. No, this has been a godsend, man. Absolute godsend. Like, it's not even just about Asia, though. Like, it could have been anywhere. You know, I've been able to enjoy the world while still watching footy and creating content here. And I've got a beautiful view of Vung Tau right now with a beautiful beach down there. And it's a beautiful sunny day here in Vietnam. Obviously, it was in Thailand and India and... yeah, no, it's great stuff. So, no, I'm really grateful I've been able to travel because I wouldn't be able to do what I do this year. That's for sure. Jaden says Cowboys are back. Holy shit, there's no way you're telling me Well, no, it's not. Please, I can't deal with it. I can't deal. Please, Jaden, stop it. What I can tell you is the Dragons are the Dragons. That's what I can say. That's what I can tell you. Alpha says, can we get an opinion on the Broncos-Eels game win-loss? Yeah, well, I'm going to have to assume the Broncos win that game. Otherwise, they're going to go absolutely on fraud alert. Absolutely on fraud alert. Really, strongly. With Payne Haas back in, they're playing at home against an Eels team in the bottom four, playing to avoid the spoon. Yes, they've got Mitchell Moses back, but there is no excuses for the Broncos. Dasman says, I'm more scared of the Cowboys on Brokeback Mountain than this footy team. You thinking about Brokeback Mountain, Daz? You think about Brokeback Mountain? Dear me, I haven't thought about that. I've never watched that movie. I know that a lot of people say it's a great movie, and I'm sure it probably is a great movie, but it's just not kind of not my cup of tea, man. Not my cup of tea, that one. Actually, I'm going to run off to the bathroom here at half time, and before the game starts in probably about a couple minutes time. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we're back. I realised I got this big, juice drink. I can't remember what it was. Like lemongrass or something. I don't know. It tastes really good, but it'll at least it's a healthy drink. I'm trying to wean myself off of the Coke Zeros. Yes, drink more juice. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Bring back Fat Blaze. This is like actual healthy juice. This isn't like... What are you talking about? What? That's it's like fruit and stuff. It's not. What do we think? What do you think that is? It's not, what do you think that is? Cowboys playing like Brokeback Mountain. You're not wrong, Brenton. You're not wrong. They are looking dreadful. They have been really, really poor. Oh, no, Cowboys. Oh, shit. No, wait. No, my brain just went off the rocker. No, they haven't been playing really poor, but the Dragons have been. For some reason, my brain mixed the score up. Ben says, go the Cowboys. You really need to win this one. Well, their season's done, but this is just about kind of keeping them away from that spoon, which if they win this, it's pretty much guaranteed they avoid the spoon. Scanner says, how good was that Knights game last week? Damn, he really wants to get into Brenton about the Knights game last week? Oh my goodness me. Once again to the Brenton about the Knights game? He's just going to remind you about the Titans game, mate. Yeah. He's just going to remind you about what team you support. But then again, I know how to reply to him with that, so he wouldn't want to do that. Brenton says, about as good as that Titans game, Skunk. Well, Brenton, I'm just going to have to jump in here. Not defend Skunkle, because that guy's a muppet, but I'm going to defend the Titans and say, well, we've won 4 games this year, and I'm going to tell you that one team we have won 50% of those games, which means we won both of our games against that team. Can you pick that out for me? I'm pretty certain one of those games was against the Roosters, and one of the games was against Manly, and then there was one team we beat twice. Do you remember who that team was? Do you remember who that team was, Brenton? I think there was a 20-0 lead in one of those games too. I think there was a 20-0 lead that got caught up in one of those games. Oh my gosh, I had to do it. Not defending Skunkle. But I am defending the Titans, even though they don't deserve it. Alright, so Cowboys are out here for the second half. They are up 28-12. I can talk about it. I can say there might be a score on the way here, but you guys cannot. So, Dragons will be kicking this one off. The first kick of the game actually went out in the full from the Cowboys, so let's see if the Dragons cannot do that this time. Mitchell says, only the all-time greats win 4 games in a season. Yeah, no, Titans are definitely on par to be a part of the all-time greats this year. All-time greats. I have a short memory. Oh, Brenton, well, I feel like it might have been against a team. Oh, for So you know how the Cowboys kicked the ball out on the full in the first half? Well, the Dragons have just taken the Cowboys over the sideline of the first tackle of the second half. So the Cowboys will go over the sideline on the first tackle of the second half. The Cowboys in the first half, they kicked the ball out on the full with the first kick. So, well, there we go. That's Cowboys starting off games and halves. Second tackle here for the Dragons, 8 metres away from the line. Anyway, Branson, just to let you know, apparently I did hear this, and apparently it might have been against a team called the Newcastle Novocastrian Knights. Yeah. Third tackle 5 metres away. Gutherson to Flanagan. Flanagan to King Tagia. King Tagia across to Leilua. It was actually a really good line ball there, but the good defence from the Cowboys prevents it. Go out to the right-hand side to King Tagia, 4 tackle. 15 metres away, Damien Coore, Kyle Flanagan. That he saw that hole and it closed up before he even made a dart for it. That was weird. 5th tackle, 15 metres away. Out to King Tagia. And King Tongia, not even a chase there from the Dragons, but they will... Cowboys will get taken down 1 metre away. Logan says, let's just say Titans have a 100% winning record against the teams they've won. Yeah, exactly right. Well, look at them. You know that. Look at them. Tell me a team they've lost to. Look at them. Top of the table undefeated. Can't complain. Ronald says, why was the last try for the Cowboys awarded by the referee? Hope they score that try before the first 40. The try on half-time because it was a try. Because it was fine. The Cowboys knocked the ball back. Braden Burns knocked the ball back and they scored in the corner. It was fine. So 5th tackle with the Cowboys at the 35. And now they're going to whack this ball to about the 20. Where Gutherson bobbles it, but he brings it out now to the 30, the 35, and it'll be first tackle. King Tagia off to... Yeah, no, that was pretty poor. Yeah, the Dragons don't kick the ball, eh? They just refuse to kick the ball. I just realised again, it was Hamish Stewart that was the ball. I just realised again that the Dragons just don't kick anymore. It's like they realise their kicking game is so shit they've just got away from it. Surely that should tell you about your team, and that's going to be, I think, a knock-on here from the Cowboys. So the Dragons are going to get this ball at the 45. Don't choke, Cowboys. Well, anything can happen in this game, man. 16 points in rugby league nowadays is not exactly a insurmountable task. 1 try for the Dragons and bring them back within 2 tries. And then that's a pretty regular game that most people realise is very close. So Dragons with the scrum, 42 out. Dom says both teams are shite. Yeah, no, we know. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, man. All right, Dragons now at the 40. Flanagan gives it to King Tagia, and Dragons knock the ball on, and Cowboys then knock the ball on themselves. So first tackle, the Dragons knock the ball on, and Cowboys get the ball at the 42. Gutherson with the knock on. Jeez. Like it's strange because the Dragons have an alright kicking game. Flanagan for the accuracy, and King Tagia for the distance. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say they have an alright kicking game. We saw what they did last week against the Dogs. That was absolutely horrific on the kicking game. They probably would have won that game with a kicking game. And I wouldn't say the Dragons have been known for a kicking game for a very long time, to be fair. Brenton says, since when did Skunk just start going for me? It's like I upset him from making a Brokeback Mountain joke prior. That probably would have been the reason, Brenton. That probably would have been. But the Cowboys will get a penalty here at the 35, directly in front. They take a quick tap instead. Oh, it was foul play, so that means he can't take a quick tap, apparently. They could go for the 2 here to make it an 18-point game. It's right in front. They're not going to do that, though. So I'll kick it to about the... No, they didn't kick it out in the full. Oh, yes. Okay, so the Dragons did touch it, but it does go out. I've always come for you, Brenton. That's very Brokeback Mountain style, to be fair, Skunkle, so he might be onto something. He may be onto something. Just don't have Backhouse here to cushion it. Now we're talking about cushions? Yeah, no, Brenton, you might definitely be onto something now. Well, hey, Cowboys now, 13 metres out. Someone says plenty of July money being raised this round already. Are they all celebrating? I haven't even noticed this round. Are they all still celebrating? And now it's going to be Scott Drinkwater, 20 metres away. Second tackle, 15 out. Mitchell, don't make me come down to New South. New South, usually that gets partnered with New South in your mouth. Oh, no, Skunkle's all over the shop. No, he's definitely, this is... Yeah, we knew this. We knew this. Cowboys on third tackle. Jeremiah and Nate. He's 11 metres away from the line. And Cowboys, short ball. Ruben Cotter. He's going to try it. No, he'll be held up. That's pretty good there from... Is that Gutho? I'm not too sure, but he's been held up there. No, it wasn't Gutho. It was actually Carl Flanagan who stops this try. Carl Flanagan holds up the ball from Ruben Cotter. So fourth tackle, 10 metres away. They go out to Tom Dearden, then on to Drinkwater. He'll get it across, and it's a full pass. Okay, well, this first 6 minutes has been an absolute schmozzle from both teams. Honestly, Cowboys still having the chance to get into the top... No, Cowboys won't make the top 8. No, they're too far behind, mate. They're too far behind, especially if the Sharks and Manly win this week. Cowboys are on 17 points. If they win this, they go to 19 points. They're still 5 points away from the Sharks in 9th and Manly in 8th. And the Dolphins in 7th. But like that, they would have to rely on way too much. And they're not good enough. Like, I know they're winning this game 28-12. But for people who are watching this game, they recognise the Cowboys. They're really being played into by the Dragons being so poor defensively. So the Cowboys, yeah, they're not going to be making the top 8, but a win would effectively keep them off the spoon. Oh, the Dragons shot the ball, but luckily it goes backwards. And King Tagia will be at the 35. It's actually going to be first tackle. And it's going to be a penalty to the Dragons. That actually worked out quite well. Jeez, I just realised we have to watch a funeral next stream. What a day for footy. Well, Mitchell Moses is back there for the Eels. That will help them, but I do have the Broncos winning, yeah. I just hope it's a better game than this one. Mitchell says, how good is Jojo Fafita? I'm not even going to buy... Well, I know Skunkle... Wow, Skunkle didn't bite to the Fafita with the FAF. Wow, he's learning. He's learning that people are trolling him now. Good learning experience there, Mr. Skunkle. Second tackle for the Dragons at the 35. And King Tagia, he will be at the 23 on third tackle. That's not how you spell it. Exactly right, Brenton. And now Damien Cook, he'll be 15 metres away, nearly breaks away. He'll be fourth tackle, 13 out. Jacob Little, he goes for a short run himself, but then he gives it up to Hamish Stewart, and he'll be 1 metre short of the line here. Fifth tackle, and it's going to hit the grass. Gutherson picks it up here at the 10. He rolls out. It's still... What the hell is Gutherson doing? What's happening here? All the Dragons thought that it was like 6 again or something. Not challenging Marcus. I think he's trying to challenge that there was a knock on from the Cowboys, which is why the ball bounced out the back to him in that way. I don't know what Gutherson... Well, Gutherson, why? Okay, so let me question you this, Gutherson. If you thought that that was a 6 again, well then why didn't you just get tackled with it? Why did you try and get a pass away off the ground just now? I don't understand. Why would you try to pass that ball off of the ground if it was fit to, if you thought that it was a 6 again? Lagan says it's spelt with an I if you didn't realise, Mitch. Yeah, no it is. Third tackle here at the 42. And they go to Ruben Cotter, fourth tackle at 45. They're still making a ridiculous amount of metres. Like, they'll still be up over the 50 metres on an average set mark here, the Cowboys. They are currently, well, they're 48.91, so just underneath, but still, it's a ridiculous amount. Now, Tom did, and he'll put this ball into the corner where Tyrell Sloan grabs it, and he'll be 3 metres out. The Dragons just have absolutely no kicking game, eh? It proves it by the fact that it was fifth tackle and Gutherson took the ball on fifth down at the 15. They really have no sense of a kicking game. But yet they persist with Flanagan. They don't even try it out with King Gia. Like, he's still very fresh in his career, so give him a crack. Flanagan's been able to be tested at the Sharks, at the Roosters, but he's been everywhere, man. Fifth tackle now at the 35. 30 minutes to go here of the game. Cowboys lead 28-12. No change in the scoreline since half-time. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And Cowboys grab it at the 15 and bring it out to the 25, the 30, the 35 through Braden Burns. Good run. Abigail getting around the Dragons. They're not looking too great right now, the old St. George. Maybe this'll clear my nose up a bit. The old Thailand Herbal Inhaler. We've never done one of those before on these streams, have we? Knock on from the Cowboys. No, penalty to the Cowboys. Penalty to the Cowboys at the halfway point. Lagan says, give Clement the kicking license. Honestly, it's probably a shout at this point. It is probably a shout. Because nobody else does. Dom says, how has someone been able to top the Telstra ad? What do you mean? How has someone been able to top the Telstra ad? I'm not too sure what you're talking about. Cowboys now at the 15. Now Tom Dearden, second tackle, 12 metres away from the line. Someone says the old sniffy pot. Get around the old sniffy pot. I need to get one of those massive ones just for an ornament when I'm back on the Gold Coast. Just as an ornament. Short ball. John Bateman taking down 2 metres short. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. 2 metres out. Cowboys to Tom Dearden. Dearden kicks it through. And it's going to be maybe a knock on actually. This might be a knock on here from Derby instead of a dropout. Dom says, have you seen the new DD ad? I'm in Vietnam, bro, so I don't really see advertisements. But if it's like a musical thing like the Telstra ad, they've probably just done that because they realised the reaction. Yeah, definitely knock on there from Derby. Definitely knock on. If you had that jumbo sniff jar, you might not have been sick along. Exactly right. Exactly right. So yeah, this is going to be a knock on from Derby, and it will be Dragons getting the ball at 20. Does the sniffy jar ever expire? I think they go for like 6 months. They go for a long time, dude. Like, I've had this for about 3 months now. This is my first week I was in Thailand. I got it. No, not the Diddy ad, Daz, mate. Not the Diddy ad. Don't want to be watching the Diddy ad, that's for sure. And Jaden Sewer is trying to get a penalty here. He might... Is he trying to grab a crusher? What's he calling? What's he trying to call here? No, it does. Well, it doesn't expire per se, Brenton, but it does like last you like 6 months or so. Prey, who's in the chat. I don't know if they're still here, but Prey's in the chat. I'll probably be able to tell you. As Prey is Thai. What's he trying to claim here? Or maybe he's just injured and he's not trying to claim anything. Yeah, I think his head just gets rocked back into the ground, but I don't think there's a penalty coming up. It'll just be 0 tackle for the Dragons about 28 metres away. God help you when you see that Diddy ad. It's a deformed looking doll at a club dancing with a whistle techno song. Yeah, they're probably just trying to get the exact same thing going. They probably just want the same reaction, because at the end of the day, the Telstra ad did what its purpose is. Whether it pisses people off or not, at the end of the day, people were talking about it. So it was actually a really good marketing campaign. Or they are going to call something here. On report for dangerous contact, but what's the dangerous contact? From who? Are they saying Cohen Hess's tackle was... Oh no, Carl Lawton, sorry. I think they're saying Carl Lawton. I don't know how that was a penalty, but sure. So Dragons now at the 45. I think they said it was a hip drop or something. I don't know what they just called with that. So Moses Sully, he'll be 45 metres out for the Cowboys line, first tackle. I don't know what they called there, but sure. Second tackle now for the Dragons at the 38. Classic, claim a penalty and get one. I just don't understand what the penalty was for, though. Like, I'm sure, I think he was actually injured. I think he did get rocked back hard, but I don't think there was foul play involved. But anyway, forward tackle now, 10 metres away from the line. Jacob Little off to King Tagia, then off to Michael Mollo, and he's 8 metres out, fifth tackle. Jacob Little, they'll go short side. We knew that was coming. And Flanagan on fifth tackle. This team can't kick a ball to save their life. He just got taken down on 7 metres out without even kicking the ball. Like, what's the point of having a halfback? Or what's the point of having halves, Dragons? I don't genuinely know what the point is of having halves if you don't have anyone who's going to kick the ball. I really don't understand the point of having halves. Anyway, the Cowboys with the ball now. And they're going to bring it out to the 33 on third tackle. There's just no point for them having halves, man. There really isn't. Someone says, Seb says, God, there are some scrubs playing for the Dragons. I just don't understand why they don't kick the ball. So Tom Dearden now will go into the corner. That kick will go into the in-goal. Really good kick there from Dearden. And Gutho's going to be forced to come out of the in-goal to about 8 metres out, first tackle. Carl Lawton has to be pushing 40 by now. He's been around a while, eh? Probably 33 or... No. How old is Carl Lawton? Carl Lawton, age... He's 29. He's 29, Carl Lawton. Like, that's crazy. I would have thought that he was older than that. For sure. I would have definitely thought that he was older than that because he originally debuted for us at the Titans. Fifth tackle now for the Dragons at the 30. He's played for a lot of teams, though. Like, I know he's played for us. He's played for the Wars. He's played for Manly. He's now playing for the Cowboys. I don't know who he's... I don't know if he's played for anybody else. But that's since like 2016-ish. So there is going to be a penalty for the Dragons at the 38 on their own side of the field. This has been a bit of a dead second half so far. Brent says Hulk Hogan passed away today. Yeah, no, I did see that. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Which is quite sad. I was never massively into WWEs. It didn't impact me too much, but obviously a sad day to lose someone so impactful. And then also in Fiji, one of our greatest artists of all time, Fiji the artist, passed away. His music was some of the best Polynesian music that's ever existed. No, it wasn't Polynesian, it's Melanesian, but still, like at the end of the day, Polynesian, Melanesian doesn't really matter. Fiji the artist was incredible, and he passed away yesterday as well. All right, so third tackle here for the Dragons at the 20. And some of my favourite music of all time is from Fiji the artist. Dragons drop the ball, but it goes backwards, and it's going to be a penalty here to the Dragons. A penalty to the Dragons. Tasman says, crazy, Hogan's last W appearance, he got booed too. Well, of course, he's a very controversial character at the end of the day, the old Hulk Hogan. But, very passionate, very energetic, that's for sure. So Dragons with this penalty, 15 metres out, they're just deciding what to do with it. And on report there for the Cowboy. All right, Dragons, do something. Get a stick and poke ya. Do something. Jeremiah and Nate on report. Dragons are 5 metres away from the line. First tackle. Score a try here. You're back into it within 2 tries. Even if you miss the kick. Dragons are now 4 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Jacob Little off to King Tagia. I would just love to see a kick by the end of this set, to be fair. That's all I want to see from the Dragons. Just see a kick. I just want to see them actually kick the ball for the first time in history. 6 again for the Dragons, 10 metres away. David Clemmer It's going to be second tackle, 8 metres out. They give it off to Flanagan. Out like that side. Great try, Dragons. That was really nice. That pass was really nice there from King Tungia. Out to the wing, and they will score. Try time for the Dragons. It is Matthew Fionney. No, sorry, Corey Allen scored the try there. Corey Allen is the one who scores the try, and it is 28-16 with a kick to come. So, only 2 tries in it. Only 2 tries in it. Drinkwater's complaining about something. I'm not too sure what he's complaining about, though. But they just got done for numbers down the wing, which is what they got done for earlier on with the Dragons on the other side. Yeah, that King Tungia pass was beautiful. Like, obviously, the Cowboys defense kind of rushed out, tried to swipe down at it, but couldn't get it in the end. So, Corey Allen, Queensland legend, Queensland State of Origin decider, legend, Corey Allen, Nathan Cleary, eat your heart out, decider. Hasn't won one yet. Henson says, from Papua New Guinea, Dragons, 2 more tries, please. Well, now they need 2 more tries. When you commented that, they needed 3 tries, but now they only need 2 more tries. But this kick, I would expect them to get it. Corey Allen, 1 try night, 2 line breaks, 4 tackle busts, 94 run meters. Pretty good stats. Pretty good stats. Corey Allen, greatest Dogs player of all time. No, that goes to Toby Sexton, mate. That goes to Toby Sexton. That's the greatest player of all time in Dogs history. Terry Lamb, Hasmel Masri, they wish. Toby Sexton's the man. All right, so Kyle Flanagan here, 15 from 17 goals this season. He's got a pretty good strike rate. And he will... he hits the post. He hit the post. And that's why commentary, includes myself, shouldn't be talking about that kind of stuff. It is 28-16. He hits the post and misses. Dom says, only decent try the Cows have scored was the kick before half-time. They've looked average. I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I was about to say, why is there an English fan in the crowd? But no, that was actually just the Dragons colours, which is just red and white. All right, 28-16. 22 minutes to go of the game. Actually, are these teams... these 2 teams are going to be in Vegas next year. They're not playing each other, though. As the Cowboys take on the Knights and the Bulldogs take on the Dragons. Jeez, that is such an underwhelming Vegas card, eh? And the year after, that'll be even more underwhelming, by the way. Like, they've put out some big boppers early doors. You know, this year is going to be Cowboys versus the Knights. And Bulldogs versus the Dragons. And then the year after that's going to be like Titans versus the Dolphins and Tigers versus Storm. You know, or maybe Panthers, sorry. Maybe they might... I don't think they do a Storm Panthers. Dragons are going to get called for a knock-on here, but the Gutherson's going to challenge us for a strip. Like, who are the teams who haven't gone yet? Titans, Dolphins, Panthers, Storm, Tigers. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And then they have to obviously redo another team. So there's going to be a penalty here. That is a strip. Challenge successful there for the Dragons. So they've got a great opportunity to get back into the game. Oh, Penrith played this year. You're right, sorry. Yeah, you're right, Mitchell. I was there. I was literally in Vegas watching it. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So, well, then I'm missing someone. I am missing someone. Tigers versus Perth. They won't take that. Like, that's not a part of the deal. 24. 25, 26, 27, 28. There's no way they'd take out their first ever game in rugby league, putting Perth in Vegas. Oh, Para, that's the one, Mitchell, yeah. So Para, Titans, Storm, Dolphins. They're the 4 matchups left, no? And Dragons, they drop the ball, goes backwards, still second tackle, and they're going to be 10 metres out of the line, third tackle. Third tackle. 7 metres away, Jacob Little, he'll go. Hamish Stewart, Kyle Flanagan to Gutho, Tyrell Sloan, shots over the Dragons, and they are well and truly back into this game. 28-20 with a kick to come. 28-20 with a kick to come. This is exactly kind of what they did last week, to be fair. And the Dragons, this is going to be a tough kick, though, from the sideline, because that... easier missed kick from Flanagan. Now they've got a tough kick here to bring them back within 6, but it is game back on. It is game back on. Very tough kick here, though. 20 minutes to go now of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. 20 minutes to go. Dragons coming back into it. Raiders, Broncos, Roosters, Manly, Sharks, Panthers, Raiders, Wires have went. Yeah, but I'm already including the fact that the Bulldogs, the Dragons, the Cowboys, and the Knights have all been admitted as next year's one, right? So I'm already putting them away. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, plus the 4 going next year. So that's 12. There's 5 extra teams. So Titans 13, Storm 14, Para 15. The Tigers 16, and then there's one more team. I am forgetting a team. Somewhere. Aloya Lacana says, let's go Dragons. But we've already, yeah. Sharks played this year, Mo. Sharks versus Panthers this year. Sharks played Panthers and lost 30-24, and the other game was Raiders Warriors. Tigers, Eels, Titans, Storm. Tigers, Eels, Titans, Storm, Para. Oh, there you go. There's the 5 teams. And Flanagan misses the kick. So, with 19 and a half minutes to go here of the game, it is an 8-point game in favour of the Cowboys. Ryan says, you had your egg coffee yet? I had a blueberry smoothie this morning. I had a beautiful coffee as well, but it wasn't an egg coffee. And I had some, little meat pancake things. They were really cool. Bunnies played in the first one, Harley. It was Roosters versus Broncos and Rabbitohs versus Manly. Rabbitohs, Manly, and Roosters Broncos was the first Vegas. But there's one team. There's one team that's on the odds, so you have to see a couple of teams go over then. All right, so Dragons now, first tackle. They are 15 metres away from their own line, but they are back into the game. It went 2 tries Cowboys, 2 tries Dragons, 3 tries Cowboys, now 2 tries Dragons. It is very back and forth. The Cowboys do hold on to a 2-score lead, though. And Moses Suli nearly gets away. Pushes away from 2, but then he gets taken out to 30. And now off to Michael Mollo, and he'll be at the 35 on 4 tackle. Jacob Little. They still haven't kicked the ball, the Dragons, by the way. They still have not kicked the ball. They nearly get away again, though, at the 50, 5th tackle. Oh, well, I'm under the pretty good assumption, pretty good knowledge that Titans will play Dolphins in 2027. But we'll have to wait and see. Because, again, there's only 5 teams that haven't played post this next season. Second tackle now for the Cowboys. So does that mean that in 2027 it'll be 3 teams that have already been plus the one that misses out the year after? Because again, it's uneven. But it's uneven by about 3 teams. So you got Tigers, Dolphins, Titans, Storm and Eels. So that means 4 of those teams will go in 2027. 1 team will still miss out. And 2027 is still a part of the contract. So then there's going to be 3 teams that have already been that have to come over. Anyway, the Dragons get this ball at the 10 and they'll be taking it up to 12. I actually didn't even think about that until just now. Manly played in the first one. Manly played Rabbitohs. First Vegas. It was Roosters, Broncos, Manly, Rabbitohs. And then this year we had Panthers versus Sharks and Warriors versus Raiders. And then next year we have Cowboys versus Knights and Bulldogs versus Dragons. So 4th tackle, Lucian Leilua, he'll be at the 25. I just don't think I'll go over for it. I would love to, but I just don't think the draw card is too massive there. Storm, Eels, Titans, Dolphins has a little bit of merit to something, but it's still a bit of a dead card. But next year's one just doesn't really get you going. Dragons, Bulldogs could be okay. Cowboys, Knights, not many will care for that, though. And now Braden Burns, he'll bring this ball out here to the 30. But Vegas is an awesome time anyway. That's not a good play, the ball, by the way. That should have been a knock-on against the... And that's the ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Cowboys knock the ball on. That should have been a bad play, the ball, and the Cowboys go up about 10 metres and then drop the ball. Ball don't lie. Mo says, I plan to go next year to watch the Saints. It will make sense if you're a fan of the team. Like, of course. Like, I went with Mum this year because she's a Sharks fan. Ball don't lie there. Mitchell says, take Origin over there. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Don't forget, we'll be live for the Broncos versus Eels right after this. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're in LA. Like, Vegas was a great time this year, though. Jeez, despite even that Sharks game was a good game too. The atmosphere would have been amazing if the Warriors had been able to compete with the Raiders, but unfortunately got done over. Second tackle now for the Dragons at the 25, only down by 8 now. Kyle Flanagan, he'll give it off to Michael Mollo, and Mollo is going to be 15 metres away, third tackle. 15 minutes left. The Dragons have worked their way back into it. Cowboys have not scored since half-time. 4 tackle, 5 away. Good run, Jacob Little! Tries over the Dragons, and they are going to be down by 2 points. Jacob Little out of nowhere. And the Dragons are well and truly back into this game. They're going to be down by just 2 points because this is right in front of the post. And I've said since last year, Jacob Little should be the starting hooker comparatively to Damien Cook. Breton says catching a flight with Dogs fans should be fun. Yeah, big yikes. But try time there for Jacob Little and the Dragons. And Brokey Sports with the try time bing bong mudder. Bleesh. Dragons well and truly back into it. So it went 2 tries Cowboys, 2 tries Dragons, 3 tries Cowboys, 3 tries Dragons. And now you argue whoever scores next wins. Thunder says, what is this game? This is a game between 11th and 13th and is living up to the 11th versus 13th memorabilia. These Cows are a shambles. Both teams are a shambles. And mind you, if Flanagan could have gotten his kicks, the Dragons would be leading right now. Well, to be fair, you've got to equal it out and say the Cowboys, if they got their kick, they'd be on 30. So it would actually be a tie game. But if considering the Cowboys miss, Dragons have missed their last 2 conversions prior to this one, it would have been 30-28 to the Dragons. But instead, it is 28-26 to the Cowboys with 14 minutes to go here of the game. Cows are out of milk. They are throwing it away. We were speaking about comebacks before. Levi said, I don't think Jacob Little has been talked about enough. He's gotten Dragons out of so much trouble the last season or 2. I agree. When they signed Damien Cook, I said, why? I originally wasn't a big fan of Jacob Little at all. He was at the Tigers, I'm pretty certain, and I wasn't a big fan. And then he went to the Dragons, and I was like, okay, well, the trajectory kind of makes sense, but it really didn't make... it didn't seem like he was going to be something big, but then he's become a really good player for the Dragons, and then they went and signed Damien Cook, and it just didn't really make sense at all. So, second tackle, the last 15 minutes, the Dragons have been all over the Cowboys. Third tackle now at the 25. Dom says scoring living up to yesterday's standards. Yeah, both games so far this round have been really high. Good offload there, and now Jacob Little gets his ball to the 35 on 4 tackle. The Dragons don't have a 2-point field goal kicker with Valentine Holmes injured for the rest of the season. It's still too early to be thinking like that, but at the end of the day, you do have to bring it into the equation if the scoreline remains the same. So Jacob Little off to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan steps up, and wow, we've seen a kick from the Dragons. Not an attacking kick, but we have seen a kick from the Dragons, and good to see Flanagan being the only one chasing it up, mind you. Only one. No other Dragons player was following up that kick. And now second tackle here for the Cowboys, and they're going to be at the 30. Someone says plenty of these coaches should be leaving their jobs end of the season. Yeah, but there's not a great deal of coaches on the market. It never is. Unless you're going the rookie, department, like Jason Riles of the Eels and whatnot. And now Cowboys will get this ball to the 45. People laugh at it, but as a Titans fan, if they did get rid of Dez, I genuinely would prefer as the high priority Brad Arthur. People laugh at it, but they forget that he took the Eels from a team that were 2 wooden spoons in a row, and they cheated to win both of those wooden spoons in the salary cap. into multiple finals appearances, a grand final appearance against the greatest team in the modern era, and also a multiple preliminary finals appearances for the Eels before he probably overstayed his welcome a bit because he wouldn't change the team later, but he also built the team to become a very successful team. It's just unfortunately they had to come up against the best NRL team, best rugby league team in the modern era, and potentially of all time, the Panthers. Third tackle now at the 15. Dragons fans love to talk about the 60s, but very different game in the 60s comparatively to now as well. Quality-wise, Jaden Stewart has been ruled out with a knee. Fourth tackle for the Dragons. They'll bring this ball out now to the 35. Jack DeBellin, and it'll be fifth tackle. What a comeback, Dragon. Well, the Dragons haven't come back yet. They've put themselves within range, but they haven't come back yet. So Watson says, the Cows coaching, do they ever make any defensive changes? The answer is no. I'm not a big believer in Todd Payten. I never really was. I think I said something at the end of 2023 as well, saying it was good there from Todd Payten, but we still need to see it because it was only his second year or whatever. But Todd Payten, for me, hasn't necessarily proved it at all. They have been the exact same team for many years now, but this year even worse with their attack. Not that this game suggests that, but it's true based off of the stats. They'd still be about 70, 80 points behind where they were last year after this game. Fourth tackle now, 38 metres away. And off to Griffin Neem, and Neem is going to be 28 metres out. Fifth tackle, 10 minutes to go now of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. We love the Broncos Eels right after this. The Cowboys put that into the corner. No one really chases it. And Gutherson will grab the ball at the 10. First tackle. Just after his wages. I think he probably does care about the Cows. I just don't think that it's been a great venture long term. I think they had a great year in 2022. And Cowboys fans, they had a lot of fun, but ultimately it just hasn't really kicked on at all, and they've been poor since. And it's just a patch job by them getting into the top 8 last year. What's the point doing the same shit every year? Welcome to the Gold Coast, said Watson. Out to Jack DeBellin, and DeBellin on fifth tackle. They're not making a great deal of meters, the Dragons. They kind of really stalled. They score a couple tries to bring themselves back in. Well, they scored 3 tries, and now since they scored that last one, they've been very flat. And Cowboys will pick this ball up at the 13 and bring it out to about the 25 or so through Robert Derby. Then he gets out to the 30. Yeshua says, Dragons second half masterclass. Well, again, they haven't taken the lead yet, so it's not like a comeback just yet. They've come back into it, but it's not a comeback just yet because they are still down by 2 points. They've still got a lot of work to do, and they have been very flat since they scored their last try. Ronald says, Dragons still have the chance to get into the top. No, they don't. No, they just don't. Fourth tackle now for the Cowboys, and they're going to be at the 40. This is a must win, but regardless, these teams aren't making the top 8. I don't even have the Roosters being able to do it, and they're 4 points clear of both these teams. John Bateman is 24 metres away from the line. Tom Dearden, game over, and that's why. Right there. What was that? Dragons, again, they just allowed Dearden to manipulate the defense so easily just then and just run straight through. And he just runs straight through there. 32-26 here with a kick to come to the Cowboys. It's a great run from Tom Dearden. There's no problem with that, but the Dragons defense just absolutely shit the bed just then. Absolutely shit the bed. Yeah, game over if he gets the kick, Sunday. If he doesn't get the kick, it's still a 6-point game. It's a nice run here from Tom Dearden, but the Dragons defense, they're backing away. Who is this? It's King DeGea. King DeGea, bad defensive read just then. Benny West is slippery. Steve Morris was quicker than his sons. The old Steve Morris. Great play, but his sons are also great. Obviously, Brett was one of the best wingers of all time. Moses, Saints being Saints, this team, too much space given. Way too much space. King Tagia is backing away from the play there. He's backing away from it. He's going to do way better than that. There's still time here. There's still 8 minutes to go, but if they get the kick, it goes out to an 8-point game again. 2 tries tonight for Dearden, 2 try assists, 2 line breaks, 6 tackle busts, and 136 run meters. Tom Dearden will definitely get man of the match. He's been incredible. He's been very good. So 7 minutes and 55 seconds. This is a difficult kick for Drinkwater, though, from the right-hand sideline. And Drinkwater will miss that one very badly. So the Dragons are still in this game. It's only a 6-point game. 7 minutes 42 to go here of this game. It's still a 6-point game. Drinkwater misses that one really badly. Oi Vey says Dragons are a joke. Well, like, you can make the argument for both teams in this game, to be fair. This is the same game as last night. Storm and Roosters gave up 34 points and 30 points, each. Storm gave up 30 and won by winning 34-30, but it's the same as this, but obviously this has been a lot less quality overall. But we've seen a lot of points this round so far. Now, Gutherson will kick this ball down very deep. Doesn't go out in the full, though. Very close, but it was fine. Cohen Hess is going to run this ball back hard. Hard worker. Brings it out to the 15. Nice run. 7.5 minutes left. First tackle. Reece Robson. Quick scoot from dummy half, and he'll be taken down now at the 30. There is a genuine chance here at extra time. And Cowboys at the 40 on third tackle. Just don't make a mistake here after those points. Ruben Cotter, now 50 metres away on fourth tackle. At least it's a close game, though, because this was looking like it was going to be a blowout at one stage with that Dragons first half defence was just... Oh, that's a penalty. Take the 2, Cowboys. Take the 2, and that's Dragons for you. That's the Dragons for you. I'm sure the Cowboys take the 2 from right in front, 35 metres out here. That is a really poor disciplined play to give up. Yeah, that's what the Cowboys are going to do. They are going to go for the 2 here. So Little and Cook, and Little does impact the play of the ball there. He comes back through the ruck, and Griffin Neame is trying to get up. So that is on the Dragons. This will be the game. Yep, 100%. Giving up that penalty, no good. That is no good, man. Levi says, this marks the Dragons' 9th game losing by 8 points or less, and since their last win, they've lost every game 7 points or less. Yeah, true. With that being said, there's still 6 minutes to go here, so the Cowboys can score again and break that, but for the time being, you're right. Drinkwater should be getting this. Jared Famone says, I hope the sickness has left the body. You're drinking some sugarcane today. Yeah, it's sugarcane. That's the one, not lemongrass. Sugarcane. Yeah, I've got sugarcane here. I've still got like a runny nose, but I'm not like coughing as much anymore. And Drinkwater from right in front. He will make the kick. So it is 34-26 with 6 minutes to go here of the game. Yeah, sugarcane. That's the one that I'm drinking. 8 points the difference. Still 5.5 minutes to go here of the game, Dragons. This is you have to go for the short kickoff here. Have a good night, everyone. Enjoy the next game. It's Broncos-Eels, so I don't know how much we're going to enjoy it, but it should be a fast-paced game, I think. Broncos-Eels should be a fast-paced one. Well, you may as well wait the 5 minutes out, to be fair, Mo. Like, anything can happen in 5 minutes. But obviously, it's not looking good. It's looking no good. Looking no good. All right, short kick in a good area, but the Cowboys pick it up, and the Cowboys bring it out to the 35, get the offload away. And they could finish it off right now. They can finish it off right now. They can finish it off right now. Jackson Purdue will finish the game off. Will finish the game off, and that's going to be 38-26 with a kick to come. Okay, Mo, definitely time to go to bed. Definitely time to go to bed. Try time for the Cowboys. Off the short kickoff. Jackson Purdue goes bang. They love their sugarcane, the Vietnamese, especially with a fault. You know, they do love their sugarcane here. That was nice there for the Cowboys, and they just, split it out to the left-hand side, and they've got plenty of space because the Dragons have all come across to try and get the short kick. Yeah, off to bed, Mo. Yeah, good night, mate. Levi says, only downside to travelling, in my opinion, get sick a lot. Funnily enough, I didn't really get sick in India as much as you would expect. I didn't really get sick too much in Thailand, but in Vietnam, I've been sick twice in the last 2 and a bit weeks. But you're not wrong. Because you're obviously opening up your body to completely different things around the world. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go. The game is 38-26. Technically, the game is still on if he misses this kick, but if he gets it, then it's definitely game over. Dom says, another try where there's no Dragons player within the Flemington straight of them. Correct, but you can also understand that the Dragons are all pushed across the left-hand side because they're going for the short drop out there. Short kick there, sorry. All right, Drinkwater from the left sideline. He will miss the kick. So technically, Dragons, you got a chance here. It's a 12-point game. You have to go for another short kickoff. Kate says, F. Moy, Dragons catfished us into thinking it was going to be a close nail-biter. Well, it has been close. Nail-biter, not so much. But it has definitely been close, and it is still a 12-point game. So if they get a short kickoff here and get the ball back, then, I guess it's still on. But they do have to convert both their tries as well. And then we've got Broncos Eels, which I'm sure the Broncos are favoured to win 13+, but they make a few errors, the Bronx. So it wouldn't be 100%. Why would you kick it long? Why, Dragons? Why'd they kick that ball long? They didn't even give themselves a chance. I don't understand. Cowboys run home as Sharks, Eels, Knights, Tigers, Broncos, and a bye in the last round. That's a lost ball there from the Cowboys. Yep, so it's going to be Dragons ball to 28, so it's kind of worked out for them, but at the end of the day, why would they go long? Eels to win it. You heard it here first. Are you doing that because of the structure of your tipping, Sunday? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Bronx stole 24, Eels $4 10. Haven't seen those odds in a bit. So challenge coming up here from the Cowboys. They're trying to suggest that it's a strip. Damien Cook's right arm is around the ball. He will strip the ball out. It is coming backwards from Cook though. Strips it, yep. And then playing on at this stage. And then, he might knock it on here. Oh, no, he picks it up there. Well, it's definitely stripped backwards from Damien Cook. We're just going to see if Caden Lars knocks it on afterwards. They might even just... they're going to say knock on from Caden Lars. It's actually going to be an unsuccessful challenge here. Because he does strip it backwards, that's fine. I have seen them call straight down, which would be a knock. They call knock on straight down. But they do say it goes backwards. Casey Badger's always right, as we know. Always right. Bretton says Eels have a decent record at Suncorp. Do they really? Surely not. What? Surely not. You might be right. You're probably looking at it, and I'm not. But surely not. Sana says, I've given up on my tipping comp. I just think there is value in Moses being back. I guess you wouldn't be betting on the Broncos. It's too short of odds to really give a shit. Hoping Eels can get up, to be honest. Probably won't. Doubt it, but Moses is back. But Payne Haas is also back for the Broncos. Good offload there from the Dragons. It's first tackle, Jacob Little. He's 10 metres away. He gives it off to Damien Cook. Damien Cook steps. That was a nice little step there from Damien Cook. He'll be 3 metres out. They have to score here and convert. Geez, I tell you what, Mo will be upset if the Dragons found a way to come back in this one. Kyle Flanagan. He'd be happy, but he'd get the biggest FOMO that he wasn't watching the last 3 minutes. Third tackle, 3 metres away. Jacob Little. Jack DeBellin. DeBellin then gets it across. Really slow here, but King to gear. Taking out 5 metres out, 4th tackle. Gutho goes at himself. He'll pass that ball across. There's numbers here. They've got numbers here. Lewis should have passed that ball. He should have passed that ball, but Gutho still got it after a couple of offloads. They've got numbers. Flanagan gives it off to Tyrell Sloan. Wow, they've actually held him just short. So 6 again, though, for the Dragons. So first tackle, 1 metre. Oh, so actually, it should have been 0 tackle, but sure. First tackle, now second tackle for the Dragons, 8 metres out. No, he gets the offload away. It's first tackle. Jacob Little under the post. Oh my gosh, it's actually game on. It is actually game on. Jacob Little following up nicely. Will score underneath the post. It's 38-30 with the kick to come. It's about to be a 6-point game with 2.5 minutes to go off the game. Jeez, all right. Mo, wake up, Mo. Mo, wake up, buddy. Mo, wake up, champion. It's game on. It's game on here in North Queensland. 2 minutes 28 to go. They have stopped the clock. And the Dragons just throwing the ball around to found a way to get in underneath the post. Wake up, Mo. Someone says, I just switched off the game. Yeah, well, keep it off if you're wanting the Dragons to win. Keep it off because this is now a 6-point game. He nearly missed that too. That was a bit of a shank, but he got it. 2:24 to go of the game, and the Dragons will receive the ball here from this kick. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. We've got the Broncos Eels right after this. Comment in the chat right now. Who do you think wins from here? Will the Dragons find a way to send us to extra time, or will the Cowboys hold out? Blitz says, not a very defensive game, it looks. No, not a very defensive game at all here, Blitzy. But I'm sure your game Your team playing in the next game won't have a great deal of defense either going on, you know? Mo, wake up, son. Wake up, Mo. 2:24 to go. Henson from Papua New Guinea. Dragons, one more try. They just need one more converted try. This would be one of the highest scoring losses in history if the Cowboys found a way to lose, scoring 38 points. Actually, would that be the highest scoring loss in history? Because I know... No, sorry. Eels-Dragons last year. Dragons lost 44-40 to the Eels, no? Or good running from Jacob Little. It's first tackle. He gets the offload away, hits the grass, and Dragons luckily don't make a mistake from it. His second tackle for the Dragons at the 20. They need to go 80 metres and convert. And now Dragons will be at the 30 on third tackle. You do not play... the South Sydney Rabbitohs this weekend, Blitzy. You play the Broncos in the game after this. Mosasuli. Oh, he should have tried to get that flick away. Oh, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball with 1:41 to go here. They're going to say, no, it wasn't strip. They're going to go for the scrum and stop the clock. Otherwise, yeah, the Cowboys will just waste it. So 1:31 of the game to go. The Cowboys will get the ball here, but the Dragons had to force the stoppage of the clock. Eels Broncos a few years ago was like 56-34. That's great. Not 38 points, but I realised last year was 44-40 loss to the Dragons. Yeah, no, that's a loose carry. So the Dragons will probably get maybe three tackles, you'd say. Cowboys are 38 metres away. Oh, what? They said it was played out by the Cow. It's Dragons' ball at the 38. Sorry? Anyway, Dragons' first tackle, 40 metres out. Okay, sure. I definitely thought that was a loose carry and that it was Cowboys' ball, but whatever. Third tackle of the Dragons. They're at the 30 metres on the Cowboys side of the field. Here's their chance. Jacob Little off to Kyle Flanagan. Flanagan now to Gutho. Gutho gets the ball across, hits the grass, stays in the field. Tyrell Sloan. I think he's gone over the sideline there. I think his foot's gone over the sideline. No, he gets it back onto the infield. No, they said it's play on. And Mosasuli is 30 metres away. Oh my gosh, Dragons with a chance. This is their last chance. Kyle Flanagan, fourth tackle. He'll flick the ball over the top to King Tagia. King Tagia sets back onto the inside. He's still going here. They haven't got him down yet. Haven't got him down yet. They're away. Oh, taking out 10 metres out from the line. Fifth tackle. Last chance of the Dragons. You have to convert the try too. Gutherson, he kicks that ball across here. Where's any Dragon? What? Dragons? What? Dragons? Sloan definitely went out, so it's actually karma. It's actually ball don't lie, but... Oh, so it is a dropout. 19 seconds left here. I don't know why they weren't allowed to waste their time here, the Cowboys, though. So it's going to be Cowboys dropping the ball out into the Dragons. Why were they not allowed to soak up the time? Anyway, okay, so 10 seconds left of the game. Do they have to take this kick? And why did we even waste our time there, referee? We knew they were allowed to... Anyway, that's game over, 38-32. I can't believe... That was a really weird way to finish that game off, but the Cowboys will win 38-32. Awful game. Like, a lot of points in it, but that was all over the shop. Cowboys win. They will go up to 11th position for the time being, but either way, that's just effectively killed off the Dragons season. The Cowboys, they can't make the 8 either, so it's a win there for the Cowboys to avoid the spoon effectively and avoid that bottom 4 battle, but ultimately, that was just a really schmozzle of a game. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off because we're going to jump over to the Broncos versus the Eels. Yeah, I don't know what the point was of that, Daz, mate. That's why I was like, the clock's ticking. Like, they can waste the rest of it, and he was telling them to get ready. Anyway, that was all over the shop. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I will see you guys in literally like a minute. Actually, I'm going to go straight over there for the Broncos versus the Eels. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.